A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel that they bring unto thee pure oil olive beaten for the light, to cause the lamps to burn continually in the tabernacle of the congregation, and it shall be a statute forever in your generations.
The Eternal Light. The National Broadcasting Company and its affiliated independent stations present The Eternal Light, a program which comes to you under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. Our program today, Degree of Freedom, was written by Joseph Mindell.
It is no use to complain, horse. I must tether thee. Now. There is enough grass within your reach. Thee may eat grass while I sit here and eat my bread. Now, lest thee think I make too much of the difference between man and horse, I will read aloud so we both may hear. Pennsylvania Gazette, the 16th of July, 1776. No, thee must listen, horse. It tells us great news. We have company. Good day to you, friend.
Good day. I am sorry to trouble you, but your wagon is in my path.
So it is. Still, thee may ride around it.
With the ditch on one side and the hill on the other? No, I'm afraid you'll have to move it.
But my horse is unhitched.
I'm sorry, my friend.
I'll tell thee, friend. If thee dismounts, we will move the wagon together.
Well, now, after all...
Or else, being dismounted, thee may sit here with me and share my load.
One might almost think you blocked the path for a purpose.
Oh, is it so? Well, how else can a traveling peddler like me have company for dinner? He has not made a choice.
If you'll allow me to contribute the cold meat I was carrying for my supper.
With pleasure. Sit down, and I will read you the news from the Gazette. A declaration by the representatives of the United States of America in General Congress assembled.
Oh, that was in July. Your Gazette must be 2 months old.
It is. In these 2 months, I have traveled through Pennsylvania and Maryland and now Virginia. And I've read it through 36 times.
There. The meat is cut. Will you have some?
Are we like my horse that we should think only of food for the belly? Listen. We hold these truths to be self-evident. That all men are created equal. That they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights. That among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Thee knows the passage, perhaps?
Yes. Yes, I know the passage.
Well, that is a lukewarm kind of knowing. Does thee not hear the words sing?
They're only words.
They will make us free of the British Crown.
It may be so, but I was not thinking of that.
Ask anywhere if Jonathan Hicks ever lacked in courtesy to any man. But I must tell thee I do not like what thee seems to have in mind.
I was thinking, Jonathan Hicks, that George III is not the only obstacle to freedom, and that words are not enough to win it.
Is that what thee thinks? Then thee will listen to every word of the declaration.
It is not necessary.
This stretches my patience and my charity. Whoever thee may be, and whatever thee is called.
My name is Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson of Monticello.
In the first days of September in 1776, having finished his work in Philadelphia, Thomas Jefferson rode homeward to Virginia. This we know, if it is not recorded that on the way he met a Quaker peddler with a wagon of pins and combs and buttons, nails and nutmeg, socks and shawls and shoelaces. If this is not written down, it does not signify. For all his life, Jefferson loved to talk to people of every kind, nobleman or peasant, soldier, farmer, lawyer, statesman, or a peddler named Jonathan Hicks.
Well, Jonathan, I turn off here. Jonathan!
Whoa.
The left fork will take you to Williamsburg. Perhaps we'll meet there again in a few weeks.
Thee must not think me presumptuous, Mr. Jefferson, but it is strange to find thee here in Virginia. Surely thee is needed in Congress in Philadelphia.
There's work to be done here. I'm elected to the Virginia legislature that will soon convene in Williamsburg.
What work can be more important than that of the Congress of all the United States?
Oh.
Yes, he is right not to answer. It is not for me to question.
No, I was thinking how to explain. Jonathan, if you should come to live here in Virginia...
I thank thee for the asking, friend Jefferson. It is a rich green land, but I like Philadelphia best.
And perhaps you are wise. For I must tell you that here, you could not attend your church. Not you, nor a Methodist, nor a Baptist, nor Presbyterian, nor a member of any other Christian or Jewish denomination.
Is there then no religion in Virginia?
Only the church established by the laws of Virginia, none other.
Fortunately, we Quakers need only a meeting house and someone to lead in prayer.
Your leader could be arrested for preaching without a license.
But if we met together in the privacy of our own houses...
You could all be thrown into prison for disturbing the peace. And if you remained at home and kept your silence...
that would be most difficult.
Then you would be taxed by the state, as all citizens of Virginia are, to support the established church.
Friend Jefferson, I do not believe that in heaven there is a Quaker, or a Presbyterian, or a Baptist, or a Methodist. God does not make such distinctions. It appears that the state of Virginia is more finicky.
Mr. Speaker!
Mr. Pendleton has the floor.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask for a report from the Committee on Religious Toleration.
Well, Mr. Pendleton, permit me to make a correction.
It is always instructive to be corrected by my friend, Mr. Jefferson.
You have misnamed the committee of which I'm a member, Pendleton. It is not the Committee on Religious Toleration. It is the Committee on Religion.
All right, I acknowledge my error, petty though it is.
It is not a small thing, Mr. Pendleton. I do not believe in toleration. Nor do I believe this House has the power to legislate it.
Well, we seem to have been mistaken as to your views, Mr. Jefferson.
Toleration is a thing granted by a superior to a lower order. The rights of religious belief are not subject to such distinctions nor to any government. We are answerable for them only to God.
Do I understand you to ask that this committee be dissolved and its work ended?
No, I want you to draft the laws requested by citizens from every part of Virginia in the letters and petitions I hold in my hand.
And why were these petitions addressed to you instead of to the chairman of the committee?
Perhaps, Mr. Pendleton, because with great foresight, you chose the chairman and the majority of the committee from among those who want no change in the present laws. With the permission of the House, I will read some of these letters.
Mr. Speaker, it seems to me that a report of the committee is premature at this point.
It was your own suggestion, sir.
Then I stand corrected a second time, Mr. Jefferson. I think the matter needs discussion of a more informal nature than is possible on the floor of the House.
At the Raleigh Tavern, for example?
Well, why not? It is well known that fewer meetings of the minds take place here than at the Raleigh Tavern.
Landlord, Mellah pint.
Jefferson,
we've been friends for many years. There's no need for us to quarrel.
I have no quarrel with you, Pendleton. Only with your views.
After all, as men of education and substance, we do have certain responsibilities.
I'm pleased to hear you say so.
Then tell me, how else but through an established church can we prevent confusion among the ignorant, the careless?
Pendleton, the care of every man's soul belongs to himself, to no one else.
Yes, and you have only to look around you to see how many neglect it.
What of it?
Landlord!
What if a man neglects the care of his health or his property? Will you make a law that he shall not be poor or sick?
But, Jefferson, if only for humanitarian reasons...
Oh, another pipe. I'm coming. Where's that time?
Let's see how much money you have left.
Don't worry, I'll pay you. I always pay.
That's enough for one more pint. It's the last you'll get.
Yes,
Oh, landlord. He's had enough, hasn't he?
Aye, sir, that's what I told him. Not another drop will he get after his money's gone.
I was saying, Jefferson...
I remember. Humanitarian reasons, you said. Pendleton, my friend, I'm suspicious of humanitarianism that is concerned only with higher things like the soul.
I've given you no cause to doubt my sincerity.
I do not doubt it. Only how strange it is that no one complains of his neighbor, that he mismanages his land, or that he makes a bad marriage for his daughter, or that he drinks away his money in a tavern. But let him not conform to the church.
The church is established by law, and laws must be enforced.
A law may also be changed, and this one must be. Pendleton, I met a man, a peddler from Pennsylvania, who is in Virginia illegally.
Oh, nonsense. There's no legal requirement.
Oh, yes, there is. There was a law 100 years old that forbids Quakers to enter the state under penalty of prison.
Oh, come now, Jefferson. We're not barbarians. Last year, I sat as magistrate in Caroline County. Did you hear that I or anyone else threw Quakers in prison for being Quakers?
Well, you're a good man, my friend.
Well, then you see, your Quaker is safe here.
So long as the magistrates are good men.
Jefferson, I'm surprised at your lack of confidence in the honesty of your fellow citizens.
Pendleton, I do not want Jonathan Hicks to rely for protection on any man's goodwill. The time for setting human rights on a solid legal basis is when the spirit of the government is good and the magistrates are honest.
Oh, I give up. There's no use in further talk. Fortunately, your proposals will be voted down in the legislature.
If so, I'll try again. I'll not give up trying. Excuse me, Pendleton. It's getting dark, my friend. Time to go home.
Ale. I want more ale.
Tell me where you live. I'll take you there.
Let me alone. I'm not going home. I drink.
Well, you go to extremes to instruct me, don't you?
Now, what do you mean, Pendleton?
I'm not a simpleton. You're preaching me a parable through that drunken fool.
Oh, no. No, my friend. I'm acting as the scriptures tell me I ought to act toward my neighbor.
Jefferson, you're a landowner, an educated man. You're a gentleman. It does not become you to be so fanatical about religion.
Is that how it seems to you? Pendleton, if I'm fanatical at all, it's about human beings and their inalienable rights.
I have a question for Mr. Jefferson.
The chair recognizes the gentleman from Richmond County.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Jefferson, I am a plain man, and I will ask a blunt question. Are you an atheist?
I do not acknowledge your right to ask the question.
The House has the right.
I'll discuss my private opinions if you ask as a friend in private conversation over a glass of port. But my religious beliefs have nothing to do with my public obligations.
Mr. Jefferson, when you were inducted into this legislature, you took an oath as a Christian. Mr. Jefferson, are you an atheist or a perjurer? Or both?
Mr. Speaker, the gentleman from Richmond County goes too far. I want Mr. Jefferson to know that I, for one, separate myself entirely from those remarks.
Thank you, Pendleton.
And yet, Jefferson, a question still remains. Do you deny the government power to regulate the conduct of its citizens?
The legitimate powers of government extend only to those acts that are injurious to others. It does me no injury for my neighbor to say there are 20 gods or no God. It neither picks my pocket nor breaks my leg.
Your neighbor again. You know, this neighbor of yours gives us a good deal of trouble.
It's no easy thing to make a government of free citizens.
Do you begin by overthrowing existing law?
Does that frighten you? We were not so timid in July.
That was different. We spoke for freedom there at Philadelphia against the tyranny of King George and the British Parliament.
Hear, hear. Pendleton, there are many kinds of tyranny, but there is only one degree of freedom.
Do not instruct me this time, Jefferson. I desire freedom as much as you.
For Quakers, for Baptists, for Jews.
Again, you have an inflexible mind.
You have not answered. Freedom from restriction by the Virginia legislature as well as the British Parliament.
Liberty without restriction is anarchy. I wish to conserve what is good in the system we have.
And so do I. But you cannot divide freedom into separate parts, political and private. Pendleton, you cannot make a man partially free.
Then you are against all established custom and law.
Only if they exclude the right to dissent from them.
Jefferson, I am troubled. I'm afraid that you're in danger of becoming a chronic dissenter.
There's no harm in that, so long as I do not insist that you should not be conservative.
Mr. Speaker, I call for a vote on the question.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, it is time. The question may not be settled by this vote or at this sitting of the legislature. But now it is time for us to make the first draft of another declaration.
Is thee hungry again, horse? Well, we'll stop soon. Well, soon, I said, not yet. Thee must not be like a man and argue with those who know better. Does thee not see the grass is greener further on?
Jonathan! Jonathan Hicks!
Whoa! Friend Jefferson, it's good to see thee again. I was about to...
set your trap with the past and arrows.
Oh, they can see through me entirely. I have a side of beef. Will they join me?
Not this time, Jonathan. We're not far from Monticello. Tonight you'll dine with me. I'll not offer you wine, Jonathan. But I hope you'll not be offended if I have a glass of port.
Friend Jefferson, should thee wear a broad-brimmed hat because I am a Quaker?
Ah, Jonathan, I wish that others here in Virginia were as liberally minded.
Thee had no success in Williamsburg?
Well, it's no longer a criminal offense to dissent from the established church, and dissenters will not be taxed for its support. That's something.
It seems to me a great deal.
But there is still an established church. And the state still has the power to regulate religious assemblies. And they proposed a general tax to maintain the ministers of each denomination. Jonathan, if I belong to any sect...
Thee says if...
Then I must be allowed to contribute voluntarily as a matter of conscience to the support of my church. And if I'm an atheist...
Another if, friend Jefferson?
Then I have the right as a matter of conscience to refuse any contribution.
There is truth and there is error. Does error also have rights?
Consider, Jonathan. There are 1,000 million people on this earth. And they profess 1,000 different systems of religion, of which ours is but one. And even if there is one right religion, and ours is that one, then what?
Then, out of compassion for the 999 wandering sects, we should wish to see them gathered into the fold of truth.
Ah, but how? By coercion?
Oh, thee knows I do not believe in force.
Then you must believe with me that reason and persuasion are the only practicable instruments. These cannot operate unless men are free to think and inquire without any hindrance. And therefore church and state must be entirely separate. This I would maintain if I were a Baptist or atheist or established churchman.
Friend Jefferson, thee has spoken so many ifs, so many imaginary situations that I am confused. I do not know how thee believes, or if thee believes at all.
I was asked the question before, and I refused to answer it.
I do not press thee for an answer, my friend.
Yet can you be my friend, or I yours, if the deepest thoughts are not spoken? Jonathan, I am of a sect by myself, as far as I know. Does that shock you?
I am concerned for thee. I've met other men who said much the same thing. They were men who could agree with nothing and therefore believed in nothing.
Chronic dissenters.
What did they say?
I hope I'm not one of those. Now, Jonathan, I believe that God is good and perfect, but that we have neither words nor ideas adequate to define him.
Oh, surely thee knows there have been many definitions.
Yes, one by each denomination, and all different, and all ending in controversy and oppression. No, I believe it's not necessary to define God, only to do his will.
And thee knows what that is?
It's no secret, Jonathan. It's written in the Scriptures, the book of Micah. It hath been told thee, O man, what is good, and what the Lord doth require of thee, only to do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with thy God.
Tell me, friend Jefferson, is there a place in this individual denomination for another member?
Mr. Speaker! Mr. Speaker, I offer a bill under the title, Ordinance of Religious Freedom.
The bill has failed 3 times. How long will you persist, Jefferson?
You know me well, Pendleton. You don't have to ask.
The last 2 legislatures have made great concessions.
Not to me. To the people of Virginia.
Well, how much more do you want?
I want everything. I want complete separation of church and state, and the removal of every obstacle to free thought.
Free thought for whom? The people of Virginia? The people has a mouth and a belly, but no mind and no thought.
That is how the aristocracy always speaks.
I am not afraid of a word, nor should you be, knowing that aristocracy means excellence.
I am opposed not to the aristocracy of intellect and ability, but to the hereditary aristocracy of Europe and of Virginia landowners.
Yes, and you will talk next of your neighbor at Monticello, the worthy redneck farmer who can neither read nor write.
I will talk of Adam Stone, my neighbor, and of Sir Isaac Newton together. And I will remind this legislature that their degree of talent is no measure of the rights to which both are equally entitled.
An Act for Establishing Religious Freedom, passed in the Assembly of Virginia, 1786.
Almost 10 years from the day that Thomas Jefferson rode down from Philadelphia to take his seat in the Virginia legislature, the law for which he worked was passed. He was then 3,000 miles away in France, but the words were those he wrote long ago.
Well aware that Almighty God hath created the mind free, that all attempts to influence it by temporal punishments or burdens tend only to beget habits of hypocrisy and meanness, that our civil rights have no dependence on our religious beliefs more than our opinions in physics or geometry, and finally, that truth is great and will prevail if left to herself.
We, the General Assembly of Virginia, do enact that no man shall be compelled to frequent or support any religious worship whatsoever, nor shall be restrained, molested, or burdened in his body or goods on account of his religious opinions or belief, but that all men shall be free to profess and by argument to maintain their opinions in matters of religion.
My own country has been the first to prove to the world 2 truths: that man can govern himself, and that religious freedom is the most effective measure against religious dissension.
Encircling the walls of the Jefferson Memorial in Washington, these words are inscribed.
I have sworn upon the altar of God eternal hostility against every form of tyranny over the mind of man,
In his long life, he was Governor of Virginia, Ambassador to France, Secretary of State, and twice President of the United States. But he asked as an epitaph those things for which he wished to be remembered.
If you would like a copy of today's script, please send your name and address with 10 cents to cover the cost of postage and handling to the Jewish Theological Seminary of America, 3080 Broadway, New York, 27, New York. Now we take great pleasure in presenting Judge Irving R. Kaufman, United States federal judge and a prominent civic and community leader. Judge Kaufman.
The Virginia Statute of Religious Liberty is probably the most famous single document in the history of religious freedom in America. Jefferson characterized the struggle for its enactment as the severest contest in which I have ever been engaged. Today, when the principle of religious freedom is so well established as a cornerstone of our American heritage, it is difficult for us to comprehend the problems confronting those who originally fought for the separation of church and state. It is only when we contrast the American experiment with old world practices that we begin to appreciate its boldness and originality. Historians have debated for decades why religious freedom found the American soil so fertile. Many claim that its development was only a matter of practical necessity. There is an element of truth here, but it is not the whole story. Other historians explain its development as an outgrowth of the revulsion felt toward the old world practices of inquest and suppression. There is an element of truth here also, but there was much more than revulsion involved. Its development was the product of a new view of man and his inherent dignity. Man was to be free. Everyone was to be left to profess freely and openly those principles which are the induction of his own reason and the serious convictions of his own inquiries. This was an immense vision. It was the vision of Jefferson. It is the vision of America. It is a vision unthinkable in a monolithic society, a vision dreaded by all kinds of totalitarian tyrants, but truly indispensable to free men. But more than a vision was required. The ultimate source of the development of religious liberty was in the courage, perseverance, and sacrifice of men like Jefferson, who were not satisfied with the principle alone, but who were willing to fight for it, who were not satisfied with merely tolerating their neighbor's religious practices, but who believed them to be his inalienable right, calling for understanding and respect. This, then, is Jefferson's real message to us. We cannot expect freedom to survive unless we, too, are willing to do more than merely profess our belief in it. Freedom is always unfinished business, and it is always in danger. Each of us must join Jefferson in his immortal oath. I have sworn on the altar of God eternal hostility against every form of tyranny over the mind of man.
Thank you, Judge Kaufman. Our Eternal Light drama today, Degree of Freedom, was written by Joseph Mendel. Cantor Robert Siegel sang the liturgical introduction. Featured in the cast were Lon Clark as Thomas Jefferson, Everett Sloan as Pendleton, John McGovern as Jonathan Hicks, with John Griggs as Richmond, Bert Calden as Speaker, Jock McGregor as the Convivial One, and Roger de Koven as the Landlord. The narrator, Norman Rose. This is Mel Brandt. Our program was directed by Kenneth McGregor. This weekly program is presented under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. This is the NBC Radio Network.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel that they bring unto thee pure oil olive beaten for the light, to cause the lamps to burn continually in the tabernacle of the congregation, and it shall be a statute forever in your generations.
The Eternal Light, the National Broadcasting Company and its affiliated independent stations present The Eternal Light, a program which comes to you under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. Our program today, Green Thumb in the City, was written by Ernest Kinoy and was adapted from Little Aliens by Myra Kelly. Copyright by Clara May Norton Woodhull.
I bought a second-hand book yesterday. It only cost 19 cents because the binding was torn and a few pages were missing. The pages are yellow now, and the illustrations are a little old-fashioned. It was published in 1910. But that book was written by Myra Kelly, and she was my first teacher in America. You don't see her books much nowadays, even though Miss Kelly got a letter from Teddy Roosevelt himself saying how much they liked her stories in the White House. But I remember them. And I remember Miss Kelly, because in her first reader class, I changed from an alien in a new world, from a little immigrant to an American. We lived on Monroe Street on the east side of New York, and everything was strange and frightening, because we had come out of Russia only 6 months before. The faces, the language, the sounds of the street were all new, and therefore strange, and therefore terrifying.
For baking, for cooking, herring for every meal, herring with you for every meal.
One day when I was 7 years old, my mother washed me till my knees and elbows were scrubbed raw. Then she pinned my shirt to my short, tight knickers and towed me through the crowded streets to the yawning doorway of Public School 147.
All right, ladies, please. Please, we'll register all the children, please. Please, ladies, every child will get school.
Somehow or other, every child did get straightened out, except me. My mother went away because she could sew 100 buttonholes in an hour, and for 100 buttonholes she got 5 cents. She had no time to wait while the mills of the Board of Education ground small enough to catch me. So there I stood all alone in the big empty room, and through the half-opened window I could hear the sweet sounds of freedom filter up from Henry Street. Slowly I felt the tentacles of education closing down around my soul. And then to add the final straw to my misery, around the corner came the sweet, tantalizing sound of a street piano wending its way through the pushcarts. And as I turned the corner, I saw my customary place behind it usurped by a small girl who danced to the music with a wild abandon. This last catastrophe was too much, and I dissolved into hopeless tears.
That's all right. I think I found him. Hello. Are you Morris of Mogilevsky?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I think you're supposed to be in my class. I'm Miss Kelly. Is it that bad? Here. Now, what is it?
I got afraid. I ain't so big, and I don't know where my mama is.
Oh, is that it?
I got afraid over you.
Over me? Don't you want to be in my first reader class?
No.
Oh, now, Morris, listen to me. If you come along to room 18, you can be a monitor.
A what?
A monitor. I need a monitor for the goldfish bowl.
This is from gold?
That's right, Morris. Now dry those tears and come down to room 18.
clean hands. Honor, she keeps soap special. Soap just for washing hands? Sure. I'll teach you something special. I monitor the pencil points. I keep all teachers' pencils sharpened. That's nothing. I monitor the goldfish bowl. You a monitor already? A greenhorn like you? I ain't no greenhorn. I come out of Russia already 6 months. Gee, a monitor the first day already. Teacher must have awful loving feelings with you. Gee.
So on my first day in school, I joined the official cabinet of Room 18. My portfolio, the Goldfish Bowl. We were the privileged few of the first reader class, for after 3 o'clock, when the ordinary common grade scholars had to leave the building, we could stay with teacher to discharge our duties. Dino Aiello, monitor of the window box, would prune each feeble leaf tenderly, and Sadie Gonorowski would sharpen each pencil to a murderous point. Once the principal came in at 3:30, just as Dino spilled a spoonful of humus on the floor.
Miss Kelly, I've meant to speak to you about these, botanical exhibits.
Yes, Mr. Alden?
You know, they do detract from the, uniform look of our classrooms.
Well, I know that, Mr. Alden, but my curriculum extract does say I should cultivate the appreciation of natural phenomena and beauty.
Yes, of course, but, well, now, the regular series of memory gems for recitation can give you...
Mr. Alden, I'm afraid it doesn't mean much to these children to memorize a poem about skylarks, when the only birds they know about are dead chickens and, the stork.
Morris, you let go of my pigtails.
And autumn leaves are fairly scarce on Henry Street.
Yes, Miss Kelly, but surely Central Park...
Mr. Alden, it takes 10 cents car fare to get to Central Park, and that's close to what these children spend for food for a whole day. Dino's window boxes are as close as these babies can get to realizing what nature is.
Surely you're exaggerating, Miss Kelly.
You're new in the district, Mr. Alden. Sadie? Sadie?
Yes, teacher, ma'am.
Sadie, do you know what the country is?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Uh-huh.
Well, what is it, dear?
The country is the fresh air fund. They take you there when you ain't so healthy, and sometimes you don't come back.
I went to Central Park once, Teach. I'm seeing a lake, a water lake, and a bird with a rubber neck.
I had an auntie had a bird. She didn't have a rubber neck. No, I sat all day to cage and scupped.
Scupped?
Sure, scupped back and fro.
It's a local word, Mr. Alden. The bird swung back and, fro.
Sure, scupped. Birds could be awful stylish for hats. Awful stylish and polite. I mean the feathers.
You see, Mr. Alden, it doesn't do much good to talk about fields and cows when these children often have never tasted milk. No, Dino's window boxes and Morris's goldfish are the most important thing I can teach these youngsters.
Look out, Dopey, you'll spill the water.
They'll learn how to read and count and march around the room, but if I can teach them that the world has something more for them than tenements and sweatshop homework at night, then what is it, Sadie? Why are you tugging at my apron?
Teacher, ma'am, I'm all through with the pencil points. They're real sharp.
That's fine, Sadie.
So now can I stay and help Dino with the window boxes? He promised to find me a crawly bug, a real live one.
You see, Miss Kelly was of the garden school in education. She thought of the children as growing plants, knowledge as water, and her part in the scheme to understudy the sun and coax the plants to absorb water. Mr. Alden, the principal, was of the carpenter school. He held that facts were straight and hard, minds not quite so hard, and the teacher's job to chip and chisel the minds so that the facts could be nailed on them. Then one day near the end of the term, Miss Kelly was lecturing on a subject dear to her heart, the use of soap and water, and her insistence on the close union between such garments as were meant to be united.
You see, nice boys and girls always have their shirts tucked into their trousers. And little girls.
No.
Nice little girls.
No.
Always. I seem to be interrupting Morris and Sadie. Now, what were you whispering about, Morris?
She made a snoot on me, Teacher, ma'am.
A what?
A snoot with her fingers on her nose like this.
Oh, yes. All right, Morris.
It was a real fierce snoot. I had it framed.
All right, Morris. Now, Sadie?
Morris wasn't polite with me. I asked him with a please.
You asked him what with a please?
A safety pin for my ribbon.
You wanted to borrow Morris's safety pin?
That's right, Teacher, ma'am. But he ain't so polite. But, Teacher, it's all I got holding me up. If I give Sadie my pin, they come. It wouldn't be so polite either.
It was in mid-morning recess that day that I was introduced to another mystery of America. We were in the schoolyard, and I was standing next to Sadie Gonorowski, who was skipping a rope at a madcap pace.
Hello, Mars. You got yours? My what? Present for Miss Kelly. It's promotion day. What's that? I'm not sure, but on promotion day it's polite to give teacher a present. My big sister told me. I didn't hear of it. You ain't got no present? I didn't know. That ain't so polite. Don't you like Miss Kelly? Oh. Morris? Morris, wait a minute. Where are you going? Morris, you'll be late for school.
The words of Sadie Gonorowski ate into my heart, and I ran homewards, taking the 5 flights up to our house at a dead run, bursting in on my mother, who sat as I always remembered her, knee-deep in sewing, a garment in her hands. But there was no money for perfume, soap, or candlesticks, for my father had been laid off, and the price of buttonholes sewed had gone down to 4 cents a hundred. There was no money in my home for a promotion day present for my teacher. When I got back to room 18, the promotion day was in full swing. Miss Kelly's desk was piled high, and the presence of cake on cake of fragrant soap was urgently perceptible. Teacher's hair was laden down with imitation tortoiseshell combs, and her blouse glittered with campaign buttons of American celebrities, starting with James G. Blaine and William Jennings Bryan, and ending with our current hero, Teddy Roosevelt.
Children, I don't know what to say, really. I had no idea. And the presents are so lovely. Oh, I want to thank all of you. Isidore Applebaum for the beautiful calendar, and Sadie Gonorowski for the soap.
Use it in good health, Teacher.
That's a lovely thought, Sadie, and I want to thank you all again, children, all of you. I'm sure no other teacher in the world has so much soap
and perfume.
And perfume. I'm sure of that.
But promotion day meant more than soap and perfume, for it was on that day that the Honorable Tim O'Shea, Assistant Superintendent of Schools, made his tour of inspection.
Now, you've no need to be nervous, Miss Kelly.
Oh, of course not, Mr. Alden.
Of course, your license to teach depends on Mr. O'Shea's recommendation. But there's no need at all to be nervous. No need.
Yes, sir.
He just finished yesterday at Broome Street School.
He did?
Yes. 5 dismissals, 9 cases of nervous exhaustion, and an epidemic of hysteria. But there's no need to be nervous, Miss Kelly. No need at all.
Mr. Alden and the Honorable Mr. Tim O'Shea marched into our classroom at 2 o'clock and were seated in the chairs of honor.
Look, Sadie, the man with whiskers. It could be teachers, Papa? Nah, it's company. See, he's sitting in the company chair.
Just go on with your lesson, Miss Kelly. Mr. Alden and I will, observe.
Yes, sir. We were just going to have our afternoon march. All right, children. Everybody stretch. Way up. Way up. Now, all loosened up. Ready for the grand march.
Teacher, Miss Green, she told me to tell you Mr. O'Shea was... She sent a note for you, teacher.
Later, Dino, the class is going to march.
May I see the note, Miss Kelly?
Why,
Thank you. Gumshoe Tim O'Shea is in the building. Green in a dead faint. She thinks she's fired. Pass the word. Thoughtful, but a little late.
Mr. O'Shea, I'm
sure Mr. O'Shea understands. Yes, of course. Young man, may I give you an answer? Miss Green may come to. She's not fired yet. Signed O'Shea. All right, Miss Kelly, suppose we skip the marching. Can the children read?
Oh, yes, they can read. Children, readers out.
Margaret, look at teacher. Oh, she's got a thread. A real fierce thread from the company with whiskers. Teacher wouldn't be with us no more. No. Sure, he's a superintendent. Right. If he says no more teacher. Oh, no, that would be awful.
All right, Morris, no more whispering.
Teacher, yes, ma'am, I tell you excuse.
What did he say?
Morris was apologizing.
Isn't he rather big to speak such broken English? You know it's part of our duty to stamp out foreign dialects.
But Morris has been in America such a short time. Isn't that right, Morris?
Teacher, yes, ma'am. I comes out of brush.
Well, I hope you're not spoiling them. Discipline, discipline. Now let's hear the children read.
One by one, we stood and read our line from the first reader. All went smoothly until teacher turned to write on the board. And then suddenly my heart stopped and then raced on. For as I looked at teacher, I saw I had a new and perilous duty to perform.
When somebody's clothes is warm, undone, it's polite you say excuse and tell it out.
Now, Miss Kelly, who daily lectured us on the virtue of buttons and laces, now she had fallen victim to the stretch way up which preceded the marching. At first I hoped that someone else would see her danger and act. But no. And so my soul cried out with Hamlet's, "The time is out of joint. Oh, cursed spite that ever I was born to set it right."
Miss Kelly, that boy has his hand up.
Well, Morris, what is it?
But the mission was too great. What words can we use to mention ineffective safety pins to one's glass of fashion?
I think I sit down.
A dark shadow passed over Mr. O'Shea's face, and immediately the vision of Miss Kelly being drummed out of the classroom flashed before my eyes. Only today she had warned us that only common little girls and boys come apart. And now the company with whiskers must be misjudging her.
Miss Kelly, that boy again.
Morris, dear, what is it? Please, Morris, tell me what you want.
Teacher,
Morris, if you're going to interrupt the reading lesson like this, I shall be quite angry.
Teacher, I tell you excuse. If I tell you something, only I got afraid.
So you bother your teacher with this nonsense. Out with it, boy. Come here.
Morris is a strange boy, Mr. O'Shea. I think it might be better not to press the point.
Oh, if you have no control over him.
Miss Kelly, I think you'd better let us hear what Morris has to say. Discipline, you know.
It's polite I tell you something. I got afraid.
Morris, dear, afraid of what? Are you sick? Would you like to go home to your mother?
No, ma'am. I ain't sick. I tell you excuse.
Here, bring that boy to me. I'll show you how to manage refractory children. Morris, will you tell me why you raised your hand?
I couldn't tell you nothing else. I got afraid.
Oh, nonsense. Come here, sir.
There, Morris, honey. Mr. O'Shea, I must ask you to leave him to me. You frightened the child until he can't breathe.
Really, Miss
Please,
Kelly.
leave this to me. There, now, Morris. There, now.
Teacher, I want to whisper with you in the ear.
Yes, Morris.
Teacher, Miss Kelly, I know it's polite I should tell something when my hand is up. Only I had it afraid over the company with whiskers. Teacher, ma'am, it's like this. Your jumper's sticking out from between your dress, and you could please borrow my safety pin.
Oh, Morris. Morris. How could you, dear? How could you?
If I hadn't known that grown-ups, especially teachers, never cry, I might have thought then that tears shone in Miss Kelly's eyes. The principal in the company with whiskers looked solemn for a struggling moment, and then finally broke into laughter, loud and long, until the Honorable Tim was limp and moist. The children waited with anxiety. But when at last Miss Kelly contributed a warm smile, we decided it was some mysterious holiday, and we all went wild with laughter. Miss Kelly had passed her test, and somehow I felt that I had a part in her success. And now the great day was over. A large pile of wrappings for Miss Kelly's promotion day gifts had been carted off to the big wastebasket in the hall, and Teacher was staring in wonder at the tall pyramid of soap and perfume that had been erected on her desk. Presently she began to painfully disentangle the tooth combs that loving hands had embedded in her hair. And it was then that I approached her.
Teacher? Teacher, ma'am?
Morris, I thought you were all gone.
I got something for you for promotion day.
Now, Morris, dear, you shouldn't have troubled to get me a present. You and I are such good friends.
Teacher, yes, ma'am. I know you got a kind feeling for me, and I couldn't tell you even the kind feeling I got for you. So, I give you a present. Only I didn't have no soap, and my mama couldn't buy none by the store. But I got a real promotion present for you.
You have, Morris?
Teacher, ma'am, it's like this. I ain't so big, and all I know is my present ain't for boys, it's for ladies.
I don't quite...
See, yesterday my papa comes to the house and gives my mama the present. And when she looks on it, she has an awful glad, and tears stands in her eyes, and she says, thanks. And she kisses my papa a kiss, and my papa is real polite, so he says, you're welcome. And my mama, she sits and looks on the present, and cries, because she has such a glad over it. And I didn't have no soap, so you could have the present.
But, Morris, did your mother say I might?
Teacher, no, ma'am. She don't know. But it's a present for ladies, and I didn't have no soap. It ain't for boys. And when she sees it, my mama kisses my papa a kiss, so I knew it must be a real good for ladies present. But,
Yes, Morris?
Well, you ain't never kissed me a kiss, and I seen how you kiss Sadie. I thought...
Well, perhaps that isn't for boys either.
Teacher, yes, ma'am. It's for boys. It's polite you kisses me a kiss because this is a real for ladies present. Here.
This paper, Morris?
For you, teacher. I didn't have no soap, and I see my mama has such a glad over it. I knew it was a stylish for ladies present. Here, teacher, ma'am. It's for you. For promotion day.
My teacher kissed me then, and cried, I think. For the little bit of paper, my present for ladies, was the paid-in-full receipt for a month's rent for our room on the top floor of a Monroe Street tenement. That was promotion day in PS 147. And next term, we found we had to move across the hall, away from the goldfish bowl, the window boxes, and Miss Kelly. We objected very strongly. Yes, children. What are you doing in my office?
We want to know why Miss Kelly wasn't promoted, too. Is it maybe she ain't so smart?
It ain't fair. Julie was bad all the time, and now he gets to stay with Miss Kelly, and we gotta go away.
But,
sure we was left back.
We all want to be left back with Miss Kelly.
Yeah, no, we can't have this. Have any of you got any baby brothers or sisters?
Sure. I got 2.
Well, then you know how hard it is to take care of them.
You're telling me all the time, rock, you could go crazy.
That's just it. We have to have our best teachers for the youngest children, and you're not young anymore. You're all grown up.
We all?
Of course. And we need Miss Kelly to take care of the new first readers.
I suppose so. We couldn't be left back?
No, you can't be left back.
Well, it will never be like the old days. Come on, Sadie. Dino, there's nothing we can do. We're too old now. We're all grown up.
And so the wisdom of age settled down on our small heads, and we left Room 18 to make way for another batch of little immigrants swept in off the streets of the East Side. But we went forth from Room 18 changed. Our tongues smoother in the new language. Our minds set in open paths of our new country. Myra Kelly was our teacher. She brought the sun of learning and love to us in our narrow gutter playgrounds and rotted tenement homes. Transplanted from hate and sorrow in the old world, we took root and grew in the new soil, nurtured and cultivated by the lady with the green thumb.
If you would like a copy of today's script, please send your name and address with 10 cents to cover the cost of postage and handling to the Jewish Theological Seminary of America, 3080 Broadway, New York 27, New York. Our Eternal Light drama today, Green Thumb in the City.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel that they bring unto thee pure oil olive beaten for the light, to cause the lamps to burn continually in the tabernacle of the congregation, and it shall be a statute forever in your generations.
The Eternal Light. The National Broadcasting Company and its independent affiliated stations present The Eternal Light, a program which comes to you under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. Today's program, The House with the Blue Curtains, was written by Mark Siegel. It is based on the book October 43, written by Olga Bertelsen.
Hello? Hello?
Mr. Bertelsen.
Yes? Bertelsen here. Who is this?
Mauritson.
The Chief of Police?
Yes, I must see you immediately.
5 o'clock in the morning?
It is urgent, Mr. Bertelsen.
All right. I'll be there as soon as I can get dressed.
No, Mr. Bertelsen. I will come to your house. Boodinger Lane, isn't it?
Yes, 33A. You won't miss it. It's the house with the blue curtains. My name is Ora Bertelsen. In September of 1943, I was a school teacher, a teacher of divinity to be exact. I lived with my wife, Gerda, and my 2 children, in a house with blue curtains in Lyngby, Denmark, Hitler's model protectorate. I didn't like the Nazis. What civilized man could, but I must confess with shame that until a foggy morning in September 1943, I didn't understand fully what was happening to my country. It was on that day that Mauritsen, Lyngby's chief of police, telephoned me at 5 o'clock in the morning. And 15 minutes later, he was at my front door.
Mr. Bertelsen.
Yes, I am Bertelsen.
May we come in?
Yes, of course. We?
I have 2 children with me.
At this hour?
Not my children. Please, Mr. Bertelsen, it would be wiser if we came in immediately.
The chief of police walked into my house out of the fog, followed by 2 children, a boy of 8, a girl of 10. And he left them sitting in our entrance hall and then motioned me to our living room. And before sitting down, he closed the curtains, the blue curtains which hung in every window of our house.
Mr. Bertelsen, you must forgive my strange behavior.
I forgive it, but I don't understand it. What do you want of me? Why are you here?
Those 2 children, I want you to hide them for a few days.
Hide them? Why? Who are they?
The boy's name is Benjamin. The girl's is Ruth. They are Jewish.
Well, what's that got to do with it? Frankly, this is the most extraordinary...
Mr. Bertelsen, please listen to me carefully.
Yes, of course.
We've had word. The Nazis are planning a surprise raid on the Jews.
Here in Denmark? It's not possible. They haven't bothered the Jews here up to now. Why should they begin now?
I don't know why, Mr. Bertelsen. I only know what the orders coming through will be. The orders will be to round up every Jew in Denmark for deportation. Will you hide these 2?
Will I... Mr. Mauritsen, why do you come to me?
I understand you are a good teacher. A good teacher would not want to see children hurt.
No, he would not.
You understand this is illegal. If they are found...
We needn't talk any further. We will keep them here, of course.
Good. I knew you would.
You did? What made you so sure?
How could you not, Bertelsen? Don't you have 2 children of your own?
It was the beginning of the strangest time of my life, a time in which only dishonest men could afford to be legal. For almost a week, Benjamin and Ruth stayed with us, and then for the second time early in the morning, we had a visitor. My wife, Gerda, answered the door.
Ah, Mr. Mauritsen, come right in.
Mrs. Bertelsen, is your husband here?
Yes, I'm here, Mr. Mauritsen.
What has it started?
The roundup?
No, perhaps worse.
What do you mean?
In the last few days, several hundred Jews went up to the coast to try to get across to Sweden.
Yes, we had heard about that.
Last night, the Germans found them up there, hiding in the boat sheds and bathhouses.
They were taken prisoners?
Many, yes. Those who tried to escape were hunted down and shot.
They shot them? Those defenseless people?
I have not finished, Mrs. Bertelsen. I have come here to tell you something else. There are prairie schooners all over the neighborhood.
Prairie schooners?
It's what they call German army trucks.
Well, why are they here? What does it mean?
It means that the rumor of a raid is almost certainly not a rumor. You had better do something about the 2 children I brought here. Whatever you are going to do, you had better do it fast.
We looked at each other, Gerda and I, and we knew that a moment of decision had come upon us, the unexpected moment that comes to men in many ways. The moment in which a man must face himself and balance his belief against his fear, when he must make a choice, knowing that he must live with his decision to the end of his days.
The attic. We can put them in the attic.
Yeah, of course, the attic. I should have thought of it myself.
Oh, what will happen if they are found?
We will not talk about that, Gerda. You see, I am just coming to a realization.
That there is a time for talking and a time for doing.
Exactly. How did you know?
How do I know? We have not been married for 12 years for nothing. I know you pretty well.
That is how it began, with 2 children and a chief of police who understood that a man, to be a man, must enforce the highest law, the law of compassion and humanity, if he is to be a man at all. But I am getting ahead of my story. I kissed Gerda goodbye and bicycled to my school to see our headmaster.
Of course, Bertelsen, I agree with you completely.
I knew you would, sir.
It is barbaric what they are doing, barbaric. Whatever can be done must be done. I wish I could help too.
Well, you are helping.
Not as much as I should want to. Well, go ahead then. Take as much time as you need. A few days, a week if necessary.
But it may be longer than that, sir.
Well, whatever is required then. But you had better cover your absence in some way.
I've thought of that, sir. I'm going straight down to the district medical officer to get a certificate of illness.
Ah, that is a good idea. What will you tell them?
Well, I'll tell him there's something with my stomach, and that's not so far from the truth. I am sick to my stomach with what's happening.
All right then, Bertelsen, go ahead, and good luck.
Thank you, sir.
But when you go down there to the district medical office...
Yes, sir?
You better take my son Sieg along with you. I am quite sure he is having trouble with his stomach, too, this morning.
It was the 2nd of October when we met for the first time in our house with the blue curtains. My wife, Gerda, Sig, Mr. Moritzen, and half a dozen others. For there were a remarkably large number of Danes who developed stomach trouble in the first days of October 1943.
No, you come. Sit down.
Gerda,
Yes, Sig?
what do we do first?
First, I think we'd better get up a list. Just where the Jews of Lengeby are, how many there are, and where they are being sheltered.
The police can help with that, Mrs. Beck.
I was counting on your help, Mr. Moritzen. Sig, you can help me with the records here.
Records? Is that wise?
We will find a way of keeping them so that no one else will be able to read them.
Good. But what use will a list be?
I am not sure yet, Sig, but we'll see. Ole is in Copenhagen now, seeing some friends in the government.
We really didn't understand at first. We thought we could get exit permits from the government. Sometimes we knew after Nazi actions against the Jews in other countries, the Germans had let some of the survivors out. In our Danish government offices, there was shock at the sudden turn of events. But our government officials were helpless, for our government was captive to the Nazis. But still I kept trying, hoping always that someday...
Where to now, mister?
The Ministry of Finance, driver.
Right. That didn't take long, mister. Now where?
The Ministry of Education this time.
Yes, sir. Where do you want to go now, mister? You have been to every government office in Copenhagen.
Don't you think I know that, driver?
Look, mister, it's getting late. Where do you want to go?
Take me out to Lundby.
To Lundby? Look, I wouldn't go to Lundby for 1,000 kroner, not at this hour. You can get yourself another cab.
You know I can't find another cab. They're very scarce.
That's just too bad now.
Driver, I must get to Lundby.
I'm sorry, mister. It's time for me to turn in.
Driver, listen. This is a matter of human lives. Many human lives.
You mean the Jews?
I have said all I can say.
Well, why didn't you say it before? Of course I will take you to Lundby. I'll take you anywhere except Berlin.
Jensen, the taxi driver, became a member of our group. And so did Larking, and Professor Eya, and Dr. Strambigor, and Professor Prohaska. Oh, I can't name them all, but within 2 days, there were 60 members of our group operating out of our headquarters, our house with the blue curtains. Word traveled fast, and the time of our doorbell worked overtime. But it was understood that no Jew would come to the house. That danger was too great.
Olga, can you see who it is?
Someone I don't know. It's a policeman with a beard.
With a beard, you say?
Yes, sir.
Oh, then it is David. There was only one policeman in Lundby with a beard.
You sure it's all right to let him in, Sig?
All right.
You bet it is all right. David is a one-man rescue operation.
It was David, I learned, who had brought Ruth and Benjamin to the chief of police to be hidden. David, who day and night, completely disregarding danger to himself, had walked the streets of Lyngby, moving Jewish families from hiding place to hiding place. And it was David who helped us make our most important plans in the House of the Blue Curtains. We called each other by our first names from the beginning.
Olga, I understand you've been in Copenhagen all day.
Yeah, that's right, David. How did you know?
It doesn't matter, I know. You haven't been able to get any exit permits, have you?
No. Everyone wants to help, but...
It was worth the try, but I could have told you before you started it was hopeless.
You could have told me. Well, how would you know?
How would I know? You haven't had much to do with the Nazis up to now, have you?
No. That is not directly.
Neither have I, directly. But when you feel for others, when your brothers are being hunted and persecuted, slaughtered, then it's almost the same as if they were hunting you.
Beginning to learn that.
I've been learning it for 7 years. I'm Jewish. Now it is time to plan some other way. We are not going to get exit permits for the Jews of Denmark.
Our plan for rescuing the Jews of Denmark, both those who were citizens and those who had sought refuge within our frontiers, was based on the geography of our country. The coastline of Sjælland is long and difficult to patrol. The sound which lies between Sjælland and Sweden, though deep with strong currents, is narrow. And at one point it is only 3 miles between the Danish and Swedish coasts. All of this we took into account as we made our plans in the House of the Blue Curtains.
There must be private boats up there. If we could find out who owns them. What do you think, Steve?
Gaither, the Nazis have confiscated every private boat up there.
Well, the fishing boats go out. I'm sure of that.
That will take money. A good deal of money.
Oh, we'll get it, David. If we get the word around, we'll get it.
And will the captains of the fishing boats take the chance? Most of them probably have never even seen a Jew.
David, you were right before when you said I haven't had much to do with the Nazis. I don't know Nazis, but I do know Danes.
And you think they will help?
Well, we have an old saying in Denmark. It's a simple Danish declaration of human rights.
What saying?
And this. A man is a man, even if he is not bigger than a mouse. You'll see. The fishermen will help. We sent Sig up to Himmelbæk on the coast to make what arrangements he could. In our house for the Blue Curtains, meanwhile, Gerda and the others carried forward a somewhat unusual business.
Hello? Hello? Yes, this is Mrs. Bertelsen. I understand you have some rare books in your house.
On the telephone, because we feared wiretapping Jews were books.
Can you tell me how many you would be willing to part with?
There was something appropriate about it. In a way, each Jewish man or woman or child was a book, a living repository of the greatest book of them all.
Then we will plan to pick up 5 large books, 3 medium-sized books, and 20 small books tonight at 8. Is that clear?
It was very clear.
In the first day of October 1943, we managed to ship scores of books to the coast of Sjælland. The money from the job came almost without our asking for it.
20,000 kroner from Mr. Fogg.
Thank you, Mauritsen. I asked him for only 10,000.
He says he knows you by now. He says it's more convenient to give you 20,000 at once.
He's right.
Also 7,000 kroner from Mr. Enriquez, 20,000 from Mr. Radem, 6,000 from Mr. Buell. It's remarkable, absolutely remarkable.
What's remarkable?
This sudden interest, this sudden literary interest of the Danish people in rare books.
It took less than 2 days to complete our arrangements for our first transport. And on a dark night in October, 43, Kelson, our driver, settled himself next to me in the cab of a truck, and we began our rounds.
This way. Bring him this way. Quickly.
From one part of Lumby to another we went, picking up Jews who had been sheltered by our friends and neighbors.
Are they all in, Gerda?
Yes. All for tonight.
Good. Then I will log out. Friends, can you hear me? I'm going to close the back of the truck now. Please forgive me. I don't like to lock you up this way. But if we don't lock you up, we can't get you to some place where you will be free.
We took them northward, our precious truckload, by back roads, past Nazi sentries, northward toward the coast of Shetland and freedom. At Himmelbeck, in the darkness, we found our way to a farmhouse, which Sig had secured for us.
Olga!
Here, Sig. Where do we put them?
In the hayloft. This way. Follow me.
They settled down in the hayloft, our precious charges, and I lay down too, to wait for word that a fishing boat had been found that was ready to make the run to Sweden. I looked around me at my fellow human beings, the aged, the women, the babies, and my thoughts went beyond them to their oppressors. David was lying next to me, and he turned to me, reading the emotion in my eyes.
Olga, don't hate them.
Is my face that transparent, David?
I know the look. I've seen it before.
How can I not hate them, David? Not only do they persecute you, all of these helpless human beings, but...
But what?
But they force me, and Gerda, and the rest of us who are not persecuted, into the degradation of smuggling Danish fellow citizens out of our own country, as if they were criminals. They make us treat people as if they were cattle or sacks of produce.
No. You could never treat people as if they were cattle. I know you only a few days, but that much I know. There is too much love in you to do that.
There isn't much love in me at the moment, David.
Every man doubts. Every man struggles. But a man who has faith does not yield to hate.
I know that, David. I know it, but...
But you wonder why. Why God let this happen.
Yes, I wonder. Like Job, I wondered.
Will a teacher of divinity let me tell him something?
Of course, David.
I will tell you what I have been taught since I was a little boy. You must think of God's almighty power. Compared to him, a human being is but dust and ashes. High above all rulers he exists. He alone rules. He alone controls the stars, the world, the atoms, everything. He alone. In his sphere, suffering is not suffering, and misfortune is not misfortune. It is part of the divine process of creation. And his noblest gem is the man who stamps his picture with his work. Do not hate. Accept. Yet as you accept, battle against this misery and persecution. For that is part of our duty to God.
The words were in my ear that night, all that night. I thought of them the next day, while we waited still for a boat that would take our fellow Danes across to Sweden. And I was thinking of them still on the second night as we watched David jump from the wharf to the fishing boat, which had agreed to take our rare books to Sweden.
All on board, Olga?
Yes, all on board.
David?
Yes, sir.
Tell the captain to cast off.
I'll do that now. Olga, for all of us,
I thank you.
Please, no thanks now. I will not forget what you have taught me.
What is it? Olga, what is it?
The Germans. Captain, cast off!
Gerda, say quickly. This way. There's a place on the beach where we can hide. We found a place behind a dune and waited. The Nazi soldiers came, but did not find us. And within an hour all was quiet once again. Only a soft wind blew from the Swedish coast, carrying a distant sound of the humming of the fishing boat's engines. Gerda, my wife, turned her face toward me, and her eyes were as radiant as the night.
Oh, it is so strange.
That we should be hiding here in the sand, Gerda? Yes, that is very strange.
No, I don't mean that. But I should feel so grateful. In my head I've been saying thank you. Thank you, just thank you over and over.
No, I've been saying it too. It's as if we never realized before what it means to live.
What is that? Do you hear it?
Oh, they're singing. They're singing on the boat. They crossed into Swedish waters.
Do you know what the song means?
Yes, David told me. It means, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one." And it is so, Gerda. He is one. It is 14 years now since we worked in the house with the blue curtains. The house itself no longer stands, but we who remember October 1943 are proud that we, with other Danes, had a part in saving almost all of Denmark's 7,000 Jewish citizens. For to love God is to love His children, all His children. And this is true not only in Denmark, my country, but in every land on the face of the earth. If we but see it, each one of us lives our lives in a house with blue curtains, a house from which can pour forth compassion and brotherhood and concern for all our fellow men.
If you would like a copy of today's script, please send your name and address with 10 cents to cover the cost of postage and handling to the Jewish Theological Seminary of America, 3080 Broadway, New York 27, New York. And now we take great pleasure in presenting the Honorable Henrik de Kaufmann, the Danish ambassador to the United States. Mr. Ambassador.
You've just heard the story, The House with the Blue Curtains, reminding us of some of the darkest days of the Nazi occupation of Denmark, when Hitler, in the autumn of 1943, suddenly gave orders for the imprisonment and deportation of all people of Jewish faith in my country. It was only a few weeks earlier that German officials in Copenhagen had given the strongest possible assurance such a thing would not happen. But the promise was broken. Luckily, the Danish underground learned the truth in time. It was, as a matter of fact, a German who passed the word on to the Danes, one with conscience and heart. His name deserves to be remembered here. It was Duckwitz. Today, Duckwitz is the German ambassador to Denmark. Practically all Danes, young and old, men and women, often even children, threw caution to the winds and helped successfully to hide their persecuted countrymen during the following weeks. Thanks to thousands of people like Åge Bertelsen and his wife Gerda, over 90% of the Danes of Jewish faith were brought to safety in Sweden. There's little I could do from Washington, except to promise financial support, pledging the gold which our government had deposited in this country before the occupation. In the end, even this was not needed. The Swedish government did not require any guarantee. The Swedes looked after our refugees until Denmark was liberated. This play has reminded us of a tragic but heroic period in our history. It has paid tribute to the best qualities in man.
Thank you, Ambassador Henrik de Kaufmann. Our Eternal Light drama today, The House with the Blue Curtains by Mark Siegel, was based on the book entitled October 1943, written by Olga Bertelsen. Cantor Robert Siegel sang the liturgical introduction. Featured in the cast were Carl Swenson as Bertelsen, Virginia Payne as his wife, Geda, Leanne Janney as Chief Maridsen, Gregory Morton as David, Olaf Olsen as Kelsen, Raymond Edward Johnson as the headmaster, Bob Hastings as the son, and the voice at the opening was that of Norman Rose. This is Fred Collins speaking. Our program was directed by Kenneth McGregor. This weekly program is presented under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. This is the NBC Radio Network.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel that they bring unto thee pure oil olive beaten for the light, to cause the lamps to burn continually in the tabernacle of the congregation, and it shall be a statute forever in your generations.
The Eternal Light. The National Broadcasting Company and its affiliated independent stations present The Eternal Light, a program which comes to you under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. Our program today, Sparks Fly Upward, was written by Joseph Mendel.
With the coming of day, he arose and went out, and saw the sun and the green earth in the morning mist, and was thankful.
Blessed art thou, O Lord, our God, King of the universe, who removest sleep from mine eyes and slumber from mine eyelids.
As he said the words, he heard the voice of the first messenger who came that day.
They attacked us during the night.
Rest first. You'll tell me later.
Bandits. Wild men on wild horses. They drove off all the cattle.
Bandits? The men are safe? You are all safe?
You don't understand.
Answer me.
There are injuries, but we are alive. Listen to me. All your herds, your flocks, your cattle and sheep and horses, they are gone.
All alive. Blessed art thou, O Lord, our God, who art good and dispenseth good. Now go into the house and eat, and then rest.
With the blessing still on his lips, he heard the coming of the second messenger.
They burned the fields as they rode past. The grain was ready to harvest. They burned it. Don't you hear what I say?
The Lord gave and the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord.
You hear, but you don't understand. Your fields are burned. You have only ashes to harvest.
Shall we receive good at the hand of God? And shall we not receive evil?
He waited, as if knowing there was more to come. And the third messenger came to tell his news, how a great wind blew out of the wilderness and smote the four corners of the house, and it fell upon the young people gathered there.
My sons and my daughters, all of them?
All of them, children of one father, all destroyed by a great wind. Now, the people waited for him to speak. But he was silent. His skin shriveled and turned black, and sores opened that ran with blood, and pain poured through him as a fire burns through the heart of a leafless tree. And one who looked on spoke with pity.
Do you still hold fast? Blaspheme God and die.
But he was silent in the land of Uz, the man whose name was Job.
Ask someone, Eliphaz.
Where can he be that we can't find him, Bildad?
There's someone coming. Ask him, Eliphaz.
All right, Zophar, all right. Excuse me, do you know a man called Job?
Yes, I know him.
Can you tell us where he is? We are his friends.
How did you come into the city?
Oh, by the road from the west.
Then you saw Job.
We're his friends, I said. We did not see him.
He sits by the side of the road. Whoever comes to the city passes him.
I tell you...
Eliphaz. The beggar.
Bildad is right. The beggar with a twisted face sitting in the dust.
No, it can't be. I threw him a coin as we went by.
You're his friends, you say. Then listen. You must tell him to go away. Don't think we others have no feeling for his suffering. I'm not a rich man, but I also leave a coin for him, a piece of bread. Yet the coins are lost in the dust, and the bread grows moldy. What does he want? Why does he sit there, staring, without speaking a word?
We did not recognize you, Job. Forgive us. Don't be angry with us. When we passed and
It's
saw...
enough, Bildad.
I want him to know, Eliphaz. I don't want him to be angry.
He's not angry.
Oh, but Eliphaz...
Don't say any more. What is there to say? Knowing your grief, Job, what can we say? We have come to
help, however we can.
You have only to ask, Job.
I understand, Job. How can we speak? There will be time later for speech. We will sit with you in the dust. See, I tear my clothes in mourning. We mourn with you, Job.
Job, come home with me. Or go with Eliphaz or Zophar.
Let my house be to you as your own.
Choose however you wish, only you mustn't sit here any longer by the side of the road.
Give me your hand, Job. We'll go together. I think he doesn't hear me, Bildad.
Listen to me, Job. The mind can hardly take in your misfortune. Then weep and wail. Open your mouth and cry out. Eliphaz, he sits in the dust like a dead man.
Who are we to instruct you, Job? Yet I will remind you of your own words. Those who are not dead must live. Live and mourn if you must. Only end your silence.
Let the day perish wherein I was born, and the night wherein it was said, a man-child is brought forth. Let that day be darkness. Let not God inquire after it from above.
No, Job.
You mustn't talk like that.
I'm no longer silent. What did you expect to hear from my mouth?
A man should not pray for death, Job.
You did not listen. Did I pray for death? Did I ask for it? You don't understand, Eliphaz. I am not meant to be at ease and at rest.
If I speak, will you be angry, Job? How many weak hands have you strengthened? How many who were falling were upheld by your words? Now, affliction has come to you. It touches you. You're frightened, and I understand. I'm not afraid, but weary.
Then call it weariness. Yet should you complain, or I, or any man, that we have been deceived in life? For affliction does not come out of the dust, nor does trouble spring out of the ground. But man is born unto trouble, as the sparks fly upward.
You wish to comfort me. I am not comforted.
Let me also speak, Job, and do not be angry. You have always walked in God's way. Surely you know that God does not punish the innocent, that if he wounds, he also binds up the wound.
So far is right, Job. Only have confidence and remember, did anyone ever perish being innocent?
Oh. You dig a pit for your friend.
You are wrong to say that, Job. Zophar and Bildad mean well.
Did I say, give me a present? Give me something of your possessions? Or did I say to you, deliver me from the adversary's hand, from the hand of the oppressors? Then why did you come?
We came because we are your friends.
No. Because you see a terror and are afraid.
Oh, why should you be angry? We have said nothing that is not true.
How forcible are words of uprightness. Affliction does not come out of the dust, you say, and God does not punish the innocent. But I am afflicted. Then what does your arguing argue? That I am not innocent, but guilty?
You twist our words and excite yourself for nothing.
Then teach me, and I will hold my peace. Let there be no injustice. Tell me how I have sinned, and I will again be silent. Tell me.
God does many things, great and unsearchable, terrible and marvelous, without number. Where are you going, Job?
You did not answer me, Eliphaz.
I cannot.
If my friends cannot answer, then I must ask elsewhere.
Job, there isn't a single person in the whole city who doesn't sympathize with you.
That's right.
We are concerned about you. You mustn't neglect yourself. You should eat something, put ointment on your sores, go someplace private.
Exactly, someplace private.
I urge you for your own sake.
If not for yourself, then do it for us. It's not decent.
Control yourself.
It gives the whole city a bad name.
What is it? What's happening?
Eliphaz, do you have any influence over your friend? Do something.
You stand around him as if he were a curiosity, a strange animal captured. Go about your business.
This is our business. It was bad enough when he sat by the road where whoever went in or out of the city saw him, but now he sits on the steps of the council house in the middle of the city. Why? What does he want?
How can I tell you? Job, I said, do you have a controversy with us, with the city? And he said, I have a controversy with God. Please be good enough to leave me alone with Job. You too, Bildad and Zophar. Let me talk with him privately.
No. Is my affliction private? The whole world knows of it. And let the world also be my witness and hear what is spoken.
Then you have a controversy, as you said.
Did I say that? Or did I say that God has a controversy with me?
Whatever it was, unsay it now. Remember, you're only a man.
I was given a tongue by him who gives all things. And the tongue moves and asks a question. What is man that you should magnify him, that you should remember him every morning, and try him every moment? How long will you not look away from me, nor let me alone till I swallow down my spittle? If I have sinned, why do you not pardon my transgression and take away my iniquity? If I have sinned, what did I do unto you? Oh, you watcher of men.
He's mad with grief. I won't listen. I won't hear anymore.
They are afraid. Oh, the words are mine, not theirs.
It is a fearful thing to see a man contend with God.
Aye? How can any man contend with him who overturns the mountains and commands the sun and seals up the stars? Who does great things past finding out, marvelous things without number.
What are you doing, Job? You speak words and mock them.
I am sick and weary and despised. But I'm not a fool. Shall I argue with God? If it be a matter of strength, He is mighty. And if of justice, who will appoint me a time? Do I be righteous, my own mouth will condemn me. Do I be innocent, He shall prove me perverse. You are still here, Bildad and Zophar? And you, Eliphaz?
You say one thing and mean another, and mock us and yourself.
And I will not say any more, only...
There is something even you were afraid to say.
Only let Him take His rod away from me, and let not His terror make me afraid. Then I would speak.
What is he doing? Running from one house to another. He's making marks in the dust with his finger. Eliphaz, he must be delirious.
No, he has a reason for what he's doing. Job! Job!
I'm busy. Can you not see?
I see that you're play-acting like a child.
Oh, no. No. I'm building my case.
Job, you must take hold of yourself.
I am counting the houses of the rich, the powerful, the fortunate. You know who lives in this one? You see? I've made a mark. Thief. It's true. You know it. The whole city knows
it, Job.
And this one, I'll mark it again. Liar! And that house flourishes on the pennies of widows and orphans.
Will you act out the whole of the childish parable?
I am as a child, weak and stripped of all except the swaddling cloth. Teach me.
You do not need us to tell you what you know.
What do I know? That God punishes the guilty, and that the way of the righteous is pleasant. I look with my eyes open, and I see otherwise. Explain it to me.
I do not presume to know all the ways of God. But I believe that the thieves and the liars, the wicked, will suffer for their wickedness.
Oh, you are the wise people, and wisdom shall die with you. But I also have understanding, and I ask a question. Why do the wicked live? Become old and mighty in power. Their seed is established before their eyes. Their houses are safe without fear, nor is the rod of God upon them. They send forth their little ones like a flock, and their children dance. Their children dance.
They are not your concern, those who turn away from God. Think of yourself and what you must do.
I am thinking of myself. What have I done that I have earned affliction?
It is not for you to question.
No anger, Bildad. Job, my friend, remember if you are now cast down, there is also lifting up.
Again, the same words. I could also speak as you do, if your soul were in my soul's place. I could shake my head at you, and you would have as little comfort as you give me.
How can such arrogance come out of suffering? You refuse to take comfort and peace. You argue with God.
There is no peace. Now I know, and I am doomed for knowing. If I be wicked, woe unto me. And if I be righteous, yet shall I not lift up my head. God destroys alike the innocent and the guilty.
Be still, Job. Are you the first man that was born? Did you listen in the counsel of God and keep all wisdom to yourself? What do you know that we do not? What understanding do you have that is not in us? Are the consolations of God too small for you?
Have pity on me. Have pity on me, oh my friends, for the hand of God has touched me, and I know nothing.
Come, Job. You will go home with us.
How should I know?
How should any man know? You will wash your wounds and rest. There's a mine for silver, Eliphaz, and a place for gold, which they refine. Man sets an end to darkness and searches out to the furthest bounds. He overturns the mountains by the roots. He cuts out channels among the rocks. His eye sees every precious thing, and that which is hidden he brings forth to light. Wisdom. Wisdom, where shall it be found? And where is the place of understanding? Take his arm, Bildad. Help him.
Help me, Eliphaz. Where shall wisdom be found?
God has told you, Job.
I am not like him with his understanding. I am a man, and must understand it in my way.
Job, how long will you persist? Your arrogance mounts above the stars. I'm afraid when you talk this way.
And I am afraid. But I will take my flesh in my teeth and put my life in my hand. Though he destroy me, I will trust in God. Yet will I argue my ways before him.
You are lost. I will not.
Uncover your ears and listen. You knew me in the months of old, when the Almighty was yet with me, and my children were about me. When I prepared my seat in the broad place, the aged rose up and stood, and the princes refrained from talking. When the ear heard me, then it blessed me. And when the eyes saw me, it gave witness. Because I delivered the poor that cried, the fatherless that had none to help. I was eyes to the blind, and feet was I to the lame, and father to the needy. Look at me now, Eliphaz, my friend.
I will not look. I will not listen.
You know how it was. When I looked for good, there came evil. When I waited for light, there came darkness. My innards boil and do not rest. Days of affliction are come upon me. Why, Eliphaz? Tell me why. You cannot answer. I will ask him, who is the cause of all things. Hear me. If I have walked with vanity, let me be weighed in a just balance. If my step is turned out of the way, and my heart walked after my eyes, then let me sow, and let another eat. If I have lain in wait at my neighbor's door, if I have withheld what the poor desired, if I have made gold my hope, then that were iniquity to be punished. But I am Job, whom you made, and you know what I have been and what I am. It is my signature. Let the Almighty answer me.
The words of Job were ended, and all who heard them were silent, waiting for the thunderbolt to fall from above. But there was no sign from heaven, only silence.
Will no one speak?
Hold your tongue, Elihu. In the presence of their elders, young men listen.
I have listened, Eliphaz. I have heard your words, and you did not convince Job. You did not answer him.
Go back to your father's house, Elihu, and leave these matters to those who understand them.
Don't argue with me. Here is Job, who is troubled. Help him. When you cannot, then I will speak. Hear me, Job.
I'm tired of words, Elihu. Go back to your father's house and leave me alone.
Are you afraid, Job? You need not be. I am a man as you are. My terror shall not make you afraid, nor shall my rod be heavy upon you.
The young men mock me in the street.
No, I only repeat your own words. There is no danger if you argue with me, or I with you. Job, God speaks in two ways, though a man may not be aware.
Do not recite me your lessons, Elihu.
If it is a lesson, then we both may learn from it. God speaks in a dream, in a vision of the night. And in another way, as he has spoken to you.
Look at me, with your young and foolish eyes. Am I a man to whom God speaks?
He has closed his lips against me and sent me affliction. Then why should I or any man follow the commandments of the law?
Is God a merchant whom you pay in coin of righteousness to buy salvation?
That is not what I said.
Nor did you say, I have suffered punishment, though I did not think to offend. Teach me, O God, that which I did not see. If I have done wrong, I will do it no more. Therefore God spoke to you through affliction.
But I did not know.
Because you did not know, you were afflicted so that you might hear and reflect and turn from iniquity.
It is a bitter kind of speaking that is the same for those who go in his way as for those who turn from it.
You are stubborn, Job. If you do evil, or if you do good, it concerns other men, such as you. When will you understand that your contention is not with God?
Elihu closed his lips and said no more, while Job stood among the people, and no one knew his thoughts. Then a voice came out of the whirlwind and spoke.
Who is this that darkeneth counsel by words without knowledge? Gird up now thy loins like a man, for I will demand of thee, and declare thou unto me.
The people fell away from Job, and he bent his head and did not answer.
Where wast thou when I laid the foundations of the earth? Declare, if thou hast the understanding. Who determined the measures thereof, if thou knowest? Or who stretched the line upon it, and laid the cornerstone thereof? When the morning stars sang together, and all the sons of God shouted for joy? He that argueth with God, let him answer it.
Those who were assembled sank to the ground, all except Job, of whom an answer was required.
I am of small account. What shall I answer? I lay my hand upon my mouth.
Gird up thy loins now like a man. I will demand of thee, and declare thou unto me, who hath given me anything beforehand, that I should repay him?
And there was no answer. Then the voice spoke again out of the whirlwind.
Hast thou an arm like God, and canst thou thunder with a voice like him? Deck thyself now with majesty and excellence, and array thyself with glory and beauty. Look on every one that is proud, and bring him low, and tread down the wicked in their places. Then will I also confess unto thee, that thine own right hand can save thee.
The clenched fingers of Job's right hand slowly softened, and his hand lay open, peaceful and at rest, and the heavens smiled. It fell upon this day that the sons of God came to place themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them. And the Lord said unto Satan, Whence comest thou? And Satan said,
From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it.
And the Lord said, Hast thou considered the man Job, a whole-hearted and an upright man, that there is none like him in all the earth?
Come
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel that they bring unto thee pure oil olive beaten for the light, to cause the lamp to burn continually in the tabernacle of the congregation. And it shall be a statute forever in your generations.
The Eternal Light. The National Broadcasting Company and its affiliated independent stations present The Eternal Light, a program which comes to you under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. Our program today, Miracle in the Mellah, was written by Sylvia Berger.
The street where I was born, in Casablanca in Morocco, has a sweet and fragrant-sounding name, Boulevard Jasmine. Can't you just smell it? The air heavy and sweet with the honeyed fragrance of the star-white flowers, a fragrance so... You can't? Well, you needn't really try, because if you want to know the truth, the odor for which our little boulevard is famous is neither jasmine nor sweet. It is really more an odor of, Zipporah?
Hello?
What would you say about the Boulevard Jasmine?
Say about what?
Our street, Zipporah. How would you describe it?
It's a street. People live there.
The mood of it, Zipporah. You know, the smell, the pervading atmosphere of our little boulevard.
The mood, the smell, the pervading atmosphere of our little boulevard. I'd call it the stink of misery.
Zipporah, I'm afraid, has a tendency to be a little direct. But then Zipporah is a businesswoman. You can see Zipporah's establishment any time you walk down our little boulevard, third from the corner opposite the ghetto water tap.
Pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, penny soda, fresh pumpkin seeds.
It was Zipporah, you know, who took me in when I became an orphan. Not that being an orphan on the Boulevard Jasmine is such an you understand. Oh, no. Gives you no distinction at all. As a matter of fact, in the Mellah, the ghetto of Casablanca, if there's one thing a child has, it's a chance to become an orphan. How many orphans are there on our street alone, Zipporah?
Which side of the street?
Oh, any side, both sides. How many orphans?
Well, let me see. We'll start with the orphans on the south side. Chayla the orphan is 1. David is 2. Michael with the roulette wheel is 3. Then there are the 6 of Mendel the salt peddler. That's 6, and 3 is 9. That's 9. Then there are Rochalet.
Now, how is that, How's that for a street of distinction? 9 orphans, and we haven't even covered one side of the street as yet. But if you think orphans are the boulevard's only claim to fame, why, try our little street for smell sometime. Bilge water, wash water, solid garbage, liquid garbage, stale, wool stale, fish stale. Well, anyway. Oh, and did you meet the royalty of Boulevard Jasmine? Why, sure. Didn't you know? It's every man a prince on the Boulevard Jasmine. Take me. My mother named me Chaya, from the Hebrew word for life. But the day I was born, I got a crown and a title. Chayla the orphan, because the day my mother gave me life, she died. Oh, who are some of the other royalty on our street, Zipporah?
David the mute?
Oh, David got his title at the age of 4 when he wandered out of the ghetto. What happened to David that day we never found out, because from that day on, David couldn't speak.
And Michael with the roulette wheel.
Oh, a genuine prince of the boulevard, that one. Michael with the roulette wheel.
All right, folks, stop right up, pick your number, and place your bet. Put your money on that lucky number.
Oh, there he is. Michael with the roulette wheel. Orphaned at the age of 8, what does he do? Does he beg, starve, die of hunger like any ordinary orphan on any ordinary ghetto street? Oh, not Michael. Not an orphan of the Boulevard Jasmine. He finds himself a broken roulette wheel, puts it together, and before the day's over, he's supporting his mother and his baby sister with the proceeds of a fine little gambling business. Oh, he even took on an assistant. Who? David the Mute.
Right up, folks. Step right up. Put your penny on the lucky number and double your fortune on the wheel of chance. Here you are. For heaven's sake, David, put down your penny. Pick your number and place your bet.
Oh, poor David. How he hated giving up that penny so many times a day. But what can he do? A job is a job. And for David the Mute, it was the only job. Because where else could he earn a salary and still be silent as a sardine?
Salt. I sell salt. Salt, ladies. Nice, clean salt. Somebody. Salt. Anybody.
Mendel the Salt Peddler, otherwise known by the title of Mendel with the watery smile. How he got his royal title, Mendel can tell you himself.
Ever since I was 6 years old, I have been selling salt. Did you know that, Violet?
I knew it, Mendel.
Right here, on this little shady spot in the Mellah. You could find me here every single day except the Sabbath, from the day I was 6. Salt, anybody? Nice, clean salt, ladies? So what do you think happens to me one day?
I don't know.
What can happen to a man who's been selling salt from the day he was 6? Nothing. But to me, it was something. All of a sudden one day, I get this funny idea in my head that if I say salt, ladies, one more time, I'll drop dead. Right here on this little shady spot in the Mellah. Did you ever hear of a more impractical idea for a salt peddler?
It's impractical.
It certainly is impractical. What good is a dead salt peddler to his children? So, if I can't afford to drop dead, I better stop thinking about my salt. So to stop thinking about what I'm doing, I start thinking of what I would like to do. What would I like to do? I'd like to talk to my wife. So, in my mind, I start talking to my wife. I'm talking, she's answering. We're discussing the children, and her voice is so gentle. Her ideas are so sweet, so loving. I can't help myself. I'm smiling from ear to ear. But that very minute, like a slap in the face, my mind cries, Mendel, you crazy man, your wife died of TB. Did you know my wife died of TB, Violet?
I knew, Mendel.
So my eyes begin to sting, smart. To keep myself from crying, I start measuring my salt, weighing, measuring. But I still feel as if any minute, the tears will be falling. Did you ever see what happens to salt when it gets wet, Violet?
It melts.
If salt melts, my business melts with it. So, if I can't afford to cry, I'd better think of something that will cheer me up. What will cheer me up? My children. I turn my eyes to my children playing around me in the street like I don't know what, like children. And I start to smile again. But my eyes are still wet. So, that's why my smile is always a little watery. Mendel with the watery smile.
Here we are, the royalty of Boulevard Jasmine in the Mellah of Casablanca. If our life seems a little bleak to you, it's the best we had. And like a tree will force water from a rock, if that's the only way it can survive, so we orphan princelings of the Casablanca ghetto twisted our misery into the shape of glory and persuaded each other that what we didn't have, we didn't want.
For people like us, there's nothing like life on the Boulevard Jasmine. Right, Kyla?
Right, Michael.
So the children on the other side of the ghetto won't have fine beds to sleep in. You have a fine bed to sleep in, you have to make it every morning. Who wants to make a bed every morning? Do you, Kyla?
Not I.
Me neither. They tell me about the food they eat. All that rich food with the meat and the vegetables. You eat a lot of food, you have a lot of dishes to wash. You realize how much time a man can waste washing dishes?
Oh, a lot of time.
Days on end. So they've got schools to go to with books and pencils. You go to school with the teacher and with books. The first thing you know, the teacher is forcing you to read those books and do homework. What fun is it to do homework?
Oh, no fun at all.
I saw one boy, he was wearing white shoes. White shoes, Chayla. The glare gave you a headache. There are children outside the ghetto. They wear all different color shoes. Brown, black, white. New shoes with laces that tie in bows.
I've seen them.
When you have shoes, the first thing you have to do is buy polish. You have bare feet, you don't need polish. Bare feet is self-polishing. Am I right, Chayla?
You're right, Michael.
Sure, that's what I say. For people like us, Chayla, there's nothing like life on the boulevard. No shoes to shine, no beds to make, no hands to wash.
No head, no tongue, no hands, no feet, if that's the way it suits you. For the orphans on the Boulevard Jasmine, every day is Saturday. But how do they say it? Well, there's a fly for every ointment, and the fly in our ointment was Mendel, the salt peddler. Will he leave us alone to starve in peace? Will he let us enjoy the juice we stew in? Not Mendel.
I don't know. Zipporah, I don't know.
What is it you don't know, Mendel?
What does it all mean?
Somebody's asked you lately?
Nobody has to ask me. I can ask myself.
Then you will do yourself a favor, Mendel, and stop looking for the answer.
How can I stop?
You stop by stopping. You just stop.
Just like that. I wake up in the morning, I see the children in the street with air in their pockets.
Better than holes in their heads.
Does it have to be one or the other? I look at the children and I think, in another year, in another 2 years, my daughters will be standing right here in this little shady spot in the Mellah selling salt and pumpkin seeds. Do you know what that thought does to me, Zipporah?
I know, Mendel.
It makes me feel as if my head is blowing off, right here on top.
In that case, Mendel, I would be careful about taking off my hat.
There were only a way out. If I could see a sign, the tiniest sign that says things will pick up for them. But what is there? Nothing. Not a sign, not a dream, not a chance. They can't even read. Doesn't it bother you, Zipporah, that so many children on the street can't even read?
To sell salt, you have to read and write?
A human being, Zipporah, is more than a machine for dispensing of salt and pumpkin seeds. A man has to see a future in his life. What future is there for the children in the ghetto?
You want my advice, Mendel?
You'll give it to me whether I want it or not.
Then my advice to you is, leave the future alone. Once you let yourself stop thinking about the children's future in the Mellah, the same thing will happen to you that happened to me. You'll grow as bitter as a stick of horseradish.
Listen to them, will you? Zipporah, the pumpkin seed magnate, Mendel, the salt tycoon, bristling with opinions on conditions and the future.
I was thinking, Zipporah.
Again?
What does a child have to look forward to here in the Mellah?
Oh, please, Mendel. If it's the future again, leave me alone. I've got troubles enough now.
That's what I mean. You were once a child, Zipporah.
So my mother told me.
But where are you now? Right here beside Mendel, the salt peddler. A child in the Mellah, Zipporah, is like a kitten in a well. Get it out fast, or it'll drown.
How do you like him? Mendel, the philosopher. A nice way to look at his children and their friends. I mean, on the very face of it, it's ridiculous. Where in the Mellah would you find enough water to fill a well, let alone drown a cat? 100 families lining up at a single water tap for their washing water, cooking water, drinking water, bathing water, and Mendel is seeing kittens in a well.
Did you hear the rumors, Zipporah?
Oh, there he goes again. The snake in the Garden of Eden. Now it's rumors.
They say there's going to be a change of government in Morocco.
Who says?
What's the difference? Who says? It is said.
That there's going to be a change of government in Morocco?
That's what is said.
Impossible.
Why impossible?
Because it cannot happen.
Why can't it happen?
Because if it happens, you know what will happen in the ghetto?
There are children listening, Zipporah.
I'm not saying anything. All I'm saying is, whenever the wind changes in Morocco, who gets it in the neck? We do. When the crops fail, when a horse falls, when a dog bites a man, where do they take out their anger?
You will frighten the children, Zipporah.
That's why I say it can't happen. Because I don't want to frighten the children.
Frighten the children? Oh, as if a child in a ghetto has never heard of massacres and pogroms. As if Petit Jean had never happened. Is there a child in the Mellah who will ever forget the night of Petit Jean? That steaming August night. The 3rd of August it was.
In the ghetto of Casablanca, the airless caves we called home were restless with dreams that night, of food we hungered for, of laughter we never laughed in the day, of friends returning from long journeys, of parents returned from the grave. Yet even our sweetest dreams were heavy with dread, a nameless dread that sealed our eyelids, that was thick in our nostrils, and that clung like smoke to our hair. Chayla, wake up! Wake up! And suddenly in my dream there stood Zipporah, and she was wearing all her dresses.
Chayla, you must wake up.
Oh, Zipporah, it's night.
But it's time to get up.
Time to... What happened? What are you carrying your pumpkin seeds for?
We are leaving, Chayla. Put on both your dresses.
Leaving where? Where are we going?
Hurry, Chayla. There's a rumor going around.
What rumor? What happened, Zipporah?
We've got to run, Chayla.
Where are we running?
We'll run to Petit Jean.
And here we are, playing the well-known game of the ghetto called running. Where are we running from? We're running from Casablanca. Where are we running to? To Petit Jean. With our dresses and our bread and our pumpkin seed, we're carrying our souls for safekeeping to Petit Jean. But who is this running toward us? It's Mendel, the salt peddler, with his orphans and his sacks of salt. He's running too, but he's running away from Petit Jean.
Mendel, what are you doing?
I'm running with the children.
But you're running the wrong way.
It's wrong?
You are running back to Casablanca.
Where are you running?
I am running to Petit Jean.
I think we can both stop running, Zipporah.
Stop?
There is no place to run.
But Petit Jean, everybody says the place to run is Petit Jean.
There's been a massacre in Petit Jean.
No.
7 of our friends were beaten to death.
No, Mendel. No. No!
No place to run. No place to hide. Not even for an orphan. An orphan princess of the Mellah Street. There must be some place. A dog, a cat, a bird has a nest, a place to hide. No place, Zipporah? No hiding place, Mick?
In a country where you're welcome, you're safe wherever you are. But in a place such as this, you will never stop running.
Oh, you wretched man, miserable creature of the ghetto nightmares, filling my heart with despair, filling my mouth with the taste of ashes, with the bitter taste of fear. Why do I say it's Mendel?
Chayla, quick.
The terror has always been with us.
We've got to run, Chayla. We've got to run for our lives.
The terror never leaves us here in the Mellah, in our ghetto in Morocco. It runs with us in the streets. It sleeps with us in our caves. It has made David a mute, and Michael a gambler, and Zipporah a cynic, and broken the gentle heart of Mendel the salt peddler. It has robbed us of our past and stolen our future.
Chayla! Chayla the orphan!
Let him call. What can he have to tell me, the gambler with the wheel?
A rumor, Chayla!
Another rumor.
This is a good rumor, Chayla!
Now he's dreaming.
A rumor that is no rumor!
Now he's crazy as well. They can leave me alone. With their rumors and their fantasies, they can leave me alone.
Chayla, what are you doing here? We must hurry.
Again, hurry.
They have sent us a messenger, Chayla, in the synagogue.
From heaven?
A messenger from heaven, Chayla.
What did I say?
Better than heaven, Chayla. A messenger from Israel.
Oh, now Israel is opening negotiations with the Boulevard Jazzmen.
Don't you want to hear the messenger, Chayla?
I should break my heart over another rumor. Let them hear the messenger themselves.
Hiya. What are you doing here?
I live here, so to speak.
Why aren't you in the synagogue?
It isn't Friday night.
But the messenger. Don't you want to see the messenger?
The messenger from heaven?
From Israel. From Ruth Alia. You've heard about Youth Aliyah, Chayala?
I've heard a lot of rumors in my time.
What rumors? Youth Aliyah is no rumor. You mean to tell me you don't know about... Chayala, do you know how many thousands of children Youth Aliyah has saved?
I'm not going.
Children like you, Chayala. Orphans, homeless.
I'm not going. I'm not going. Let them call. I'm not going. Let them listen to their messengers themselves. I may be motherless and fatherless and luckless and homeless, but I'm not witless. I'm not going. So, if I'm not going, what am I doing here in the synagogue? Squeezed in like a needle in a bundle of hay. What are you doing here, Mendel, the salt peddler? Zipporah, the pumpkin seed merchant? Michael with the roulette wheel, David the mute. What are you listening for? Why are you sitting and staring like people in a dream?
You ask yourself, who is this man? Why is he here? I am here with the Youth Aliyah team of Hadassah to rescue the orphan children of Morocco. I know it will be hard for you to let them go, the orphans whom you have taken in and loved. I know. I too once wandered in the streets of Casablanca, homelessness beating my feet, fear on my breath. But Youth Aliyah, this organization created specifically for the salvation of our homeless, orphaned youth, came to me here in the Mellah, as I am now coming to you, and they took me by the hand, as I would take your children by the hand.
This is a dream. This is a dream that only a ghetto Jew can dream.
And they led me out of the Mellah, and they brought me to a land where I will never be landless again. I, who have trembled with ghetto homelessness, know the contentment of a home. My home in Israel.
The Lord is my shepherd.
I, who have been rootless, am rooted among my people. My days which were aimless are vigorous with promise.
He maketh me to lie down in green pastures.
I, who was despised, have seen the splendor of my image as a human being and a Jew.
Who is crying? Why is my face wet?
And now I am here to tell you that we can take into Israel 200 children.
We sit like puppets staring.
Orphan children, homeless children. We will feed them and give them homes and teach them to see the light that shines upon them.
Why, this is a miracle. Stand up, somebody. Say yes, quickly, before the miracle vanishes. Please. A voice from the farthest corner of the synagogue. Whose voice is this? Please. Please. Oh, it's David. David the mute is speaking. David is answering the messenger from Israel. Speak for us, David. Tell him, David. He's listening. The messenger from Israel is listening. Help us. Help us.
If you would like a copy of today's script, please send your name and address with 10 cents to cover the cost of postage and handling to the Jewish Theological Seminary of America, 3080 Broadway, New York 27, New York. And now we take great pleasure in presenting Mrs. Eleanor Roosevelt, Chairman of the Board of Governors of the American Association for the United Nations and the World Patron of Youth Aliyah. Mrs. Roosevelt.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am certain you must have been as touched as I was by the dramatization Miracle in the Mellah. I have recently visited the Casablanca Mellah, and I have also seen the consummation of many a miracle in the Youth Aliyah camps and villages in Israel. Since Youth Aliyah was founded 23 years ago,
Such miracles have happened to some 85,000 young people. They must continue to happen. I have always felt that Youth Aliyah is one of the creative undertakings in history, significant far beyond the borders of Israel. It has offered a warm welcome to many thousands of children in need of love and acceptance. Many of them had come from situations in Europe which made it seem impossible that they could ever become happy, normal citizens of Israel. But the impossible was accomplished, and love restored them mentally and emotionally as well as physically. Of equal importance is the fact that Youth Aliyah, through its vocational and educational training, imbues its charges with a fervor and sense of responsibility without which Israel's young citizens would find it difficult to accept the hardship and toil needed to make the desert bloom. The vital work of Youth Aliyah must be carried on with even greater vigor in these days of international crisis. Hadassah, the Women's Zionist Organization of America, the official Youth Aliyah representative in the United States, has just received word from Youth Aliyah in Israel that within the next 12 months, 7,000 children from Egypt, Hungary, and Eastern European lands, as well as from North Africa, will be brought to Israel to begin a new life in a new land. Each of us can make miracles possible for these and other young people by our contributions to the vital work of Youth Aliyah. By contributing generously, you can help create a miracle every day for a child whose heart yearns for freedom on a yet distant horizon of life.
Thank you, Mrs. Roosevelt. Eternal Light drama today, Miracle in the Mellah, was written by Sylvia Berger. Cantor Robert Siegel sang the liturgical introduction. Featured in the cast were Beatrice Pons, Guy Rep, Michael Mann, Louis Sorin, and Susan Douglas. This is Mel Brandt. Our program was directed by Daniel Sutter. This weekly program is presented under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. This is the NBC Radio Network.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel that they bring unto thee pure oil olive beaten for the light, to cause the lamps to burn continually in the tabernacle of the congregation, and it shall be a statute forever in your generations.
The Eternal Light. The National Broadcasting Company and its affiliated independent stations present The Eternal Light. This public service program is prepared under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. Today's story was written by Joseph Victor and is entitled The Jacket of the Ten Commandments.
The art of making clothing is as old as man himself. But today we will tell you about a certain strange piece of apparel, a jacket. A jacket which was made not of wool,
not of cotton, not of silk, but of parchment. Some 12 years after VE Day, two men who had met at Buchenwald have agreed by letter to meet again at the Memorial Shrine on Mount Zion in Jerusalem. One of the men is an American, Paul Mansfield, traveling with his wife Dorothy. Paul is a former U.S. Army captain of a tank battalion, now a Philadelphia construction foreman. The other man is one Shimel Drucker, formerly of Poland and Buchenwald, and now an Israeli citizen, member of a Negev kibbutz.
Well, here it is. We made it, honey.
Oh, gosh, what a view. That must be the old city of Jerusalem over there to the right.
Well, come on, Dorothy. We'd better hurry.
Think you'll recognize him?
Schimmel was only a kid when I first saw him in Buchenwald, and a mighty scared kid at that.
You should have made up some kind of signal, like a flower or something.
Oh, well, maybe he'll recognize me. Come on, let's go. I guess that's the memorial shrine over there where those people are heading. Suppose I better ask the guide over there.
Look at all those candles.
And now, my friends, you are inside the tomb itself. These candles which you see are burning in memory of millions of our Jewish brethren who perished in Nazi concentration camps from 1933 to 1945.
Wait, Paul, where are you going?
Come here, Dorothy. The jacket. Here it is. Yes. Yes, that's the one, all right.
Made of parchment, isn't it?
Yes. And those symbols are the 10 Commandments in Hebrew. Well, here comes the guide with the others.
And in this section, you will find a number of unusual articles made for the pleasure of the Nazi torturers. I would like to call to your attention this jacket over here, which we call the Jacket of the 10 Commandments. It was made from the Torah, late in 1944 in Buchenwald.
Please, excuse me for correcting you. The jacket was made in February 1945.
But our records, young
Believe
man...
me, I know what I'm talking about. It was in February 1945. I was right there, an inmate of Buchenwald, when this jacket was made. And I was there when the Americans liberated us.
It must be him.
Why don't you ask him, darling? Go ahead.
All right, I will. Excuse me, my name is Paul Mansfield. Are you...
Yes, I am Shimel Drucker. And you are Captain Mansfield.
Well, not anymore, just plain Mr. Mansfield.
Oh, I can't tell you what a happy day it is for me to see you again. After all these years.
Oh, excuse me, I want you to meet my wife, Dorothy. Darling, this is Shimel Drucker.
Hello.
How do you do?
He's a man now, but when I met him that day in Buchenwald, he was still a boy.
And if not for you, God knows I wouldn't be here in Israel. I was only 7 years old when the war started, and Hitler's bandits invaded Poland. Yes, I remember it like it was today. Such things one never forgets. Shall we go out on the terrace? It's easier to talk about darkness when there is light. My whole family was wiped out. For days, I lived like a little animal, eating whatever I could find here and there. But I survived. I was sleeping in an abandoned house when a noise awoke me.
Oh, you scared me. Wait, aren't you the tinsmith Avram Drucker's son? Oh, don't be afraid. Come on, speak up.
Yes, I'm Shimel.
No, I'm not Shimel. Don't you cry. I'm Laser the tailor. Why, I even made your father's clothes for the holidays. Oh, speaking of your father, what happened to him? Never mind, Shimel. As if I couldn't guess. Like an old fool, I ask, and I should know better. So you're an orphan now, poor child. Out there, it's like a wilderness, a terrible wilderness. Synagogue is no more, burned to the ground. But look, do you see what I saved?
The Torah.
Yes, the Torah. The Torah. While the synagogue was burning, I suddenly heard a voice inside of me, and it said, "Go, Laser, save the Torah." So I rushed inside, and there it was in the tabernacle, untouched by the fire. A miracle. Oh, do you hear something? What's that? Quick, Shimel. Quick, here, give me a hand. They mustn't find the Torah. Wait, I'll wind my prayer shawl around my chest, Then on top of that, the Torah, right next to my own heart. Here, hold it. There. Now, the Torah. Careful now. Now, don't be afraid, Shimele. Repeat after me. Shema Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael.
Adonai Eloheinu.
Adonai Eloheinu.
Well, well. I see we've got company.
Please, sir. Please, don't shoot us.
Sergeant Kravitz.
Yes, sir?
Look what I found hiding here. Well, don't stand there like an... Oh, get the filthy Jewish swine out of here.
Raus! Out with you!
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Come, Shimele. Come, my son.
And from then on, Lazer the tailor was both father and mother to me. With the few Jews who remained alive, we put the yellow Star of David on our clothes and waited. And all this time, Lazer kept the Torah with him. But our luck didn't last long.
Aufmachen da innen! Aufmachen, verdammte Schweine!
Wake up, Lazer! They're here! Lazer!
Oh, it's them. Plague on them. What do they want now?
Well, what took you so long?
I was asleep.
Who's this with you?
My son, Shimele.
Pack your things. In the morning, both of you are to report at the market square. Understand?
Yes, I understand.
What are we going to do, Lazer?
What can we do when they crack the whip? We Jews have to dance. What else can we do? Come, Shimele, come. Let's start packing.
And so they squeezed us into boxcars like cattle. And that was my first train ride. It was bitter cold, but Lazer kept me warm with his own body. And when we got there and they opened the boxcar doors, the first thing we saw was barbed wire. It was Buchenwald, a concentration camp. This was to be our home for the next 4.5 years. The dirty barracks, a bit of soggy straw on plain boards to sleep on.
Shimele, are you asleep?
No, I'm too cold. I can't sleep.
The cold you'll get used to, like we all did. Thank God you're alive, my boy.
That's right. When I first got here, I was sure I'd never survive it. But somehow I did.
Excuse me, neighbor, but if you don't mind my asking...
Here, my good man, you can ask anything you want. They're all beyond secrets.
You speak with a foreign accent, the kind I never heard before. Where are you from?
Amsterdam. I lived there all my life. I was born there. I'm a diamond polisher by trade. One of the best.
Oh, I'm an Austrian, a bookkeeper from Vienna. I'm from Warsaw. I had butcher shop on Lalewki. Now, I'm in hand of butchers.
Well, my fine gentleman, I'm certainly honored to be in such educated company. I am only a tailor. Lazer the tailor, that's what they called me. From Tarnopol. And you should have seen our synagogue. Yes, it was a splendid synagogue. But all I managed to say was the Torah. As a matter of fact, I have it with me.
The Torah? Did you?
But I tell you, I have it right here on me.
On you? What do you mean?
Well, that's just what I mean. As God is my witness. Go ahead, Shimele, you tell them.
It's true. He has the Torah wound around his chest.
The man is out of his mind.
Come here. Look if you don't believe me.
Where are you? I can't see it.
Right here I am.
Somebody better light a match.
Careful, the guard will see it. It's true.
Listen to me, you fools. What will happen to us if they find it here? We'll all suffer.
As if we could suffer more. Why think of the worst when we should rejoice that here in the midst of hell on earth, we have with us the Torah, the Word of God. Let us pray.
That's right, friends. Let us pray. Let us give thanks. Give glory to the Lord your God, before he caused darkness, and before you stumble upon the dark mountain.
Give glory to the Lord your God, before he caused darkness, and before you stumble upon the dark mountain.
Then, one night, after the prayers, Laser addressed the others.
My friends, there is something important I want to tell you. Something that will make your hearts rejoice. Our Shimela will soon be 13 years of age, and we have to start thinking of his bar mitzvah.
Yeah, here we are, barely alive, and he's thinking of a bar mitzvah. And will you serve Slivovitz too, huh?
Is Shimela then to grow up into manhood without the benefit of advice and instruction? Like an animal in the wilderness?
It is dangerous enough as it is. We must not tempt fate. Just the same, it's our responsibility to the boy.
Well, if you will let me instruct Shimela, I'll prepare him for the bar mitzvah myself.
Maybe if we placed another lookout in back of the barracks to warn us.
Come, Shimela. If you're not too tired, we'll start right now. Are you willing?
Sure, I'm willing.
Very well, then. Sit down and listen to what I have to say. Soon you'll be 13 years old. What I will tell you now is the most important thing you will ever hear. It's the 10 Commandments. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them. Now listen and try to memorize. And the Lord came down upon Mount Sinai on top of the mount. And the Lord called Moses up to the top of the mount.
Quiet. Guard is coming. All right, he's gone.
Who was it?
That pig Franz. The one who broke my nose. A plague on him.
Can I continue?
Yes, it's all clear.
Now, repeat after me, Shimela. And God spoke all these words, saying...
And God spoke all these words, saying...
"4 months went by like that, and Laser continued with the instructions, preparing me for the bar mitzvah, for the day when I was to become a man.
Remember the Sabbath day, to keep it holy.
Remember the Sabbath day, to keep it holy.
Honor thy father and thy mother.
Honor thy father and thy mother.
Well, what's the matter? You're crying.
I have no father or mother to honor.
Ah, God is your father, your mother. You will honor him. Now, Shimela, you'll be a man soon. You mustn't cry.
Hi, Laser. These gentlemen. Well, I called you together from your duties to inform you that we shall celebrate the Führer's birthday with a little private party. And champagne. Heil Hitler!
The time for my bar mitzvah arrived. It was a strange and sad ceremony.
Praise you, the Lord, who is to be praised.
Praise be the Lord, who is to be praised forever and ever.
Praise be thou, our Lord, our King, King of the universe, who hast chosen us from all people, and hast given us the Torah of truth, and hast planted everlasting life in our midst.
Praised be thou, O Lord our God, King of the universe, who hast chosen us from all people.
Put out the candle! The Torah! Somebody help me hide the Torah!
What's going on here, you scum? Secret meeting? Conspiring against the Reich, you filthy pigs? And what's this? I want an answer!
It's the Torah.
Torah?
The Holy Scriptures. The Word of God.
My word is the Word of God here. Oh. We have ourselves a little synagogue here, eh? Search every bank.
Jawohl, Herr Kommandant.
And now you listen to me, you swine. I will give you exactly half a minute to tell me how this forbidden literature was smuggled in here, or this whole barrack will be taken to consequences.
Tell him, or we'll all perish. God in heaven, Shema Israel, Adonai Eloheinu.
Silence, you swine! Well, who smuggled it in?
I did it. I brought it here.
No, he's lying. He's trying to protect me. I am the one who brought the Torah here under my clothes. They are all innocent.
Oh, so you are a rabbi, huh?
No, I'm only a tailor. That's all I am. Just a tailor. I can make any kind of clothes your heart desires. I'm a good tailor. I used to make clothes for the best people of the finest cloth.
Oh, you did? Well, how about making something for me, tailor, huh?
For you, Herr Commandant?
Yes, for me. Don't you want to, huh?
Oh, yes, Your Excellency. That would be a great honor, but I haven't got any cloth, nor do I have my tools with me.
You will get your tools. Get him a sewing machine.
Jawohl, Herr Commandant.
Now, tailor, I want you to make me a special costume. A party costume.
A costume? For a party? But I never made such a fancy garment.
You will make one now. You will make me a costume. Shall we say a jacket? Out of this Torah of yours.
Out of the Torah?
Silence! I want a kind of jacket no one else ever thought of.
No. Please have pity. Kill me, but don't make me desecrate the Torah. It's sacrilege. Kill me.
Quiet! This one your son?
Shimele is an orphan, but he's like my own flesh and blood now.
Very well, then. I'll give you a choice. Either you do what I ask you, or your son here will be disposed of. Looks rather sickly anyway.
Oh, please, don't do that. Have mercy on an old man. I beg you.
Make up your mind, tailor. Well?
I'll do it. To save a life, I'll do it. God is all merciful. He will understand.
Well, now. That's better, Jew. Take him away. Lock him up in the workshop. I'll drop in later for the measurements.
Jawohl, Herr Commandant. Come.
Oh, God. And put the boy in with him.
And so the guards locked up Laser and me in a room, then left us. I watched Laser's trembling hands roll open the Torah for the last time before cutting it into a pattern for the jacket. His eyes shone as if he were looking for something in the Torah. And then, when he started to chuckle to himself, I was sure that he had gone out of his mind.
Laser, please. Please don't laugh. It scares me.
I'm laughing with tears, Shimele. With tears. Look, you see this passage in the Torah. What does it say, Shimele?
Thou shalt not kill. It's the 10 Commandments.
That's right. The 10 Commandments. Now, listen, Shimele. Listen to what I'm going to do. I will cut out this part of the Torah with the 10 Commandments, and I will sew it right over the commandant's heart. Let every beat of his brutish, pitiless heart scream and howl into eternity the shame of his guilt. Their shame, their guilt.
Never before had so much love and tears gone into the making of a garment. When it was finished, they took it away and threw Laser and me back into the barracks. The next night, the guards celebrated Hitler's birthday. In the darkness, we heard their drunken talk and music.
Carry on, gentlemen, carry on. Oh, there you are, Fräulein Ilma.
What a lovely costume, Herr Commandant.
Thank you, Ilma. Rather inventive, the jacket, isn't it? Cut right out of the Torah.
Ach, what a charming idea.
Oh, no, Ilma. I still consider your little lampshades an inspiration.
Oh, that. Oh, by the way, Herr Commandant, what do the inscriptions on your jacket mean?
I haven't the slightest idea. It's their idiotic Hebrew script. But we can soon find out from the tailor himself. Oh, Werner.
Herr Kommandant?
Fetch the tailor.
Jawohl, Herr Kommandant.
Now, come on, tailor. Have you lost your tongue? Read your Torah, go on.
And God spoke these words, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy.
And this?
Thou shalt not steal.
Louder! Go on!
Thou shalt not bear false witness. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not kill.
Aaron, put out the lights, quick!
We were used to air raids by now, but this was something different. It continued like this all night. Soon we knew that something very important was happening. Our barracks buzzed with excitement.
Hey, listen. You hear that? I tell you, that's artillery fire.
How could artillery fire get this close? I couldn't.
I tell you, they're coming. The Americans. They're coming to liberate us.
Yes, they're coming. They're coming. Listen. They're getting closer.
Next morning, we were sure that our liberators were coming when our guards herded us out of the barrack and started to drive us like cattle toward the east.
Where are these beasts taking us?
God only knows.
Those who couldn't go on were shot down without mercy. Laser was feverish, and I was half carrying him when I suddenly felt his body go limp and slip to the road.
Laser, get up. Get up, please.
Go on, Shimela, go. Save yourself.
No, I won't leave you. Please get up. Here, hold on.
I can't. Go, Shimela, go. God be with you.
I'm staying.
Don't shoot him, please.
Why, that's a little kid.
He's alive, Captain. He only passed out.
What about the old man?
No, he's a goner.
We'll take the kid back to the medics, Corporal Weinstein.
Yes, sir.
Easy there. You want a hand?
Oh, it's nothing but skin and bones. There, that'll hold him.
Well, Corporal Weinstein, how's he doing?
He's okay, considering. Aren't you, Shimela? Captain, he keeps on talking about some kind of jacket.
Jacket?
Yeah, I can't make him out.
Thought you understood Yiddish.
I do. I think the poor kid is... Oh, wait. He's trying to say something.
The jacket. The jacket.
There he goes again. Yes, Shimela? What about the jacket,
Please come. Please. I'll show you where it is.
He wants us to go with him.
All right, put him in a jeep and we'll take him where he wants to go.
Hey, you guys, look at that picture.
I bet this was the office of the commandant of the camp.
Hey, look what I found. Them SS bums sure had fancy daggers. Hey, get a load of this.
Huh?
What is it?
Looks like a new style combat jacket.
Oh, you're nuts. That's parchment.
What's that written on it?
Well, search me. Looks like Arabic. Maybe Turkish. Hey, Lieutenant, you want a souvenir?
The jacket! It's a jacket!
Hey, easy there, kid. You almost knocked me over.
So that's why he wanted the jacket. It's made out of the Torah. The scriptures.
Yes, I'll never forget that moment, Mr. Mansfield. Even now, after all these years, I can still see the tall American corporal holding the jacket close to him and crying like a child.
Yes, that was the only time I saw Corporal Weinstein cry. And as you know from my letter, he was killed in the next action. I held on to the jacket until it was all over. And then I turned it over to the archives section of the Army. That's the last I saw of it until I got the letter from you, Schimmel, telling me that the jacket of the 10 Commandments is here, in the memorial shrine atop Mount Zion, where it rightfully belongs.
Where it belongs. With the past. With our terrible past. And now, Mr. and Mrs. Mansfield, come. Let me take you from the past to the present. To our present. You will hear song and laughter, and you will see a new life. A life of work, of joy, and happiness.
If you would like a copy of today's script, please send your name and address with 10 cents to cover the cost of postage and handling to the Jewish Theological Seminary of America, 3080 Broadway, New York, 27, New York. Our Eternal Light drama today, The Jacket of the 10 Commandments, was written by Joseph Victor. Cantor Robert Siegel sang the liturgical introduction. Featured in the cast were Louis Sorin, Peter Laser, and Peter Fernandez. This is Mel Brent. Our director was Daniel Sutter. This weekly program is presented under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. This is the NBC Radio Network.